It is 7 o'clock, so we'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And ask for a moment of silence. And then turn it over to the vice chair for the announcements.
The meeting is being recorded by the recording clerk.
She's too cold.
I know, right? I'm frozen. The meeting is being recorded by the recording clerk for the purpose of taking minutes. Is there anyone else present who wishes to record the meeting? Seeing none. To attendees of the meeting, a sign-in sheet is being circulated. The board asks that you please sign in to indicate your attendance at today's meeting. Select board meetings can be viewed by going into the cable videos icon on the homepage of the town's website. And on Monday, August 4th, the board will hold a meeting at 7 p.m. The next select board work session will be held on Wednesday, August 13th at 6 p.m. Please check the meeting postings on the town website for information to either join via Zoom or for the location of that particular meeting work session.
Okay, and now we will open it up for any questions or comments not related to an agenda item. Seeing none, okay, then turn it back over to the clerk this time for the minutes.
Oh, I didn't know I had that job. All right.
Well,
Meeting
anybody
minutes.
could make a motion.
It looks like we have March 19th, April 7th, and June 16th meeting minutes.
I move to approve the minutes of those meetings as mentioned.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I'm gonna abstain, thank you.
Got it. All right, now we'll turn it over to new business. First up, we have a requested appointment to the Sustainability Advisory Committee. We all have the impressive resume of Ms. Charisse Rom-Nolson, who has been requested to join from the head of the Sustainability Advisory Committee. So normally, our practice is we introduce the person, we get to ask questions, and then we would vote the next time, but if the board's comfortable, I know Ms. Nolson well enough, I could take a vote tonight, but that would be departing from precedent, so whatever the board's comfortable there.
Well, if her perseverance for the environment is as much as it was for the school, I think our environment's in good shape.
Question, Sam, did we lose the hot seat when we went to the new microphones?
No, the microphone collects, well, Marshall's bag's on it.
Okay,
We don't need the hot seat anymore, the microphone picks up everything.
the microphone picks up everything.
Microphone picks up everything.
And yeah, I guess we'll try it out, stay there. You wanna say a few words, or should we just dig into the Inquisition?
I mean, you can do the Inquisition, but generally, I'm really excited to possibly be appointed to the Sustainability Action Committee. After my year of recovery from 6 years of school committee, 5 years chairing, I am ready to come back to helping the town. And I feel like this is something that lines up with my passions and my interests, and I'm excited to be of service.
That's awesome.
You just can't get enough.
I really can't.
I would point out, even in your year of recovery, I think you were still doing something for the schools too, right? So,
I still am, yes.
alright.
So who's the chair of this?
Zilly is the
Zilly.
chair,
That's what I thought.
and I am the liaison.
Okay.
I'm ready to vote tonight if you wanna do that.
I'm good with board.
That violates our procedure.
It's a
but
soft
I'm willing-
procedure.
I'm willing to move on if everybody else feels the same.
Okay, any other questions for Sharice?
Pretty cut and
Ms.
dry.
Nelson? Okay, any motions then?
I move to approve Sharice Rome Nilsson to the Sustainability Advisory Committee for a term expiring on June 30th, 2046.
46?
Oh, 2026.
Wow, okay, I was like,
It's a lifetime
that's
appointment.
a long time.
I'll second the amended motion. Alright, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright,
You didn't give me a chance to discuss.
oh, right, I forgot, the
Oh,
second discussion
oh.
You're
period.
such a stickler.
Would you like to
Such a-
discuss more?
No, I'm such an inhibited sort, you didn't get your chance.
Well, thank you for coming, that was a lot,
Thank you for having me. Thank
very
you for
difficult
taking my
inquisition,
time.
as you can tell.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna go pick up my kid at your house right
Thank
now.
you. Thank you for staying involved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, and second up, we have neurofibromatosis northeast.
That's good.
Wow, I'm
The fact
impressed.
that you pronounce it is a,
Alright,
You should say like NF northeast of the shorter one, yeah, but.
alright,
Yeah, we're having our 14th annual cycling, Coast of the Cure recycling event. And once again, we just asked the permission to ride through Topsfield.
I looked at the map and it was in 2 or 3 different pieces. So just give me a clue, where will this thing start?
It will start at Stage 4 Park in Gloucester.
Okay,
So depending on the route, so like there's a 40-mile route, but basically the streets it will cover will be Asbury, Ipswich Road, Main Street, and Washington Street.
how will you get from Gloucester, no, 133 or?
It goes from, let's see, from Gloucester to Manchester to Beverly. It goes on all these like,
Wow.
yeah. It's
And you said it was 40 miles?
there's a 24, a 40, and a 66.
Miles.
Yeah.
Miles.
Which one are you doing?
I didn't sign up last year either, I really should get on it this year.
Ooh, I'm surprised you and Doug aren't there, woo.
and we're
I know,
being,
I saw you're cycling on the sticker on your water.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
let's ride.
Yeah.
we are being incredibly rude, we did not give you a chance to introduce yourself
Oh, I'm
though.
sorry, I think I jumped ahead. My name is Kim Trainer from Neurofibromatosis Northeast.
And do you ride it too?
No, too busy that day.
Mr. Chairman, I know that the police chief, fire chief have reviewed this as well. If there's any issues, same route as in previous years.
Yeah.
How many times have we done this before?
It's the 14th,
14, all on the same route?
pretty much the same route, yeah.
Okay.
Could you spend a minute or two just talking about, for those of us that aren't that knowledgeable, what the
You got
neuro disease is?
You got the same problem I
what-
did and the
what-
same question. So
What's the research, what's the status of the research they're doing now?
Well, we didn't, we don't depend directly on the research, like there was no research, no funding for this year unfortunately, but for next year there is. So we raise money for our own research and then we do advocacy and things like that, but neurofibromatosis, tumors on nerve endings. So sometimes when you see like bumps someone's all over, that's one of the signs of neurofibromatosis. So some of the tumors on the nerve endings can cause blindness and can have problems behind the ears and cause people to go deaf. They can also be cancerous as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's serious,
Yeah. No cure. Yeah.
no cure at all.
Yeah.
What are the leading institutions in terms of doing research to fight this?
We have like local ones like MGH. MGH is a big one, and then we also have one in New York, because we serve mostly New England. There's I don't know how many states, but like from Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut. We have 9 walks now. We've increased the number of walks. We have a walk in every state.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which has been really big this year. We added Dartmouth Hitchcock this year in New Hampshire.
Okay,
So it's mostly the month of May, so it's every weekend in May, and we rolled over to June a little bit this year, so yeah. They've been really successful, so.
How much do you think you'll raise with this bicycle activity?
We hope around 40,000.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
Can you remind me approximately how many people usually participate?
About 120, about 125, yeah.
And all of the routes come through Topsfield?
No, just the 40 and 66.
Okay.
This is a shorter one, the 24 just goes right into.
That's the 66 one, I presume?
Yeah.
Give you an
We used to have
idea.
100
Look at that elevation gain.
and
That's
that
a
was
lot.
going to Middleton and even further, but we just realized it was just easier to manage it if it was a shorter route, so the 24, 40.
And it looks like the 44 just turns that way and cuts across, I assume.
Yeah, and
Lots of twists and turns.
yeah, and lots of streets to find out, sometimes we find out there's construction or the paving or something like that at the last minute, so then we have to make a change. Like in Beverly last year, there was an issue, so we kind of had to okay, at the last minute, what if we do this? And make sure the miles aren't too much of a difference either way, because we don't wanna shortchange somebody, but we also don't wanna okay, if you thought you were riding 40, now you're gonna be riding 50 or something like
Right.
that, so.
Well, you're in luck. Gary, we don't have any paving for September 6th.
Not at the moment. I wouldn't be in that area anyways.
All right, so there we go.
See.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you don't have any funding this year, but you will have next year.
Yeah,
You must be a little bit concerned about funding sources based on what's going on politically in this country.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that stuff is being cut.
yeah, that's what happened this year, everything was cut. Yeah, it's tough. That's why we the money that we raise also goes to research that we can fund.
Glad you're
That's why the
keeping up,
money, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm glad you're keeping up the good work
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
face of this struggle.
yeah, because if you think of it, a year off, it just sets everything back so far,
That's why the money that you raise is even more important than it normally would be.
Exactly, and that's what we've been trying to express to donors this year, is that we needed even more than before.
It's awesome work.
I didn't notice anything about street closures then,
No,
so,
yeah, because not all 120, first they go off at 6, 7, and 8, so at 6 o'clock are the 66 milers. And then, you have 40 and then the 24. And not everyone does the 66.
Yep.
So, and then not everyone's at the same pace either. So there's really no sense closing off any streets because it's only gonna be a few,
Right.
at a time.
so how does the town actually support the race then, other than,
Just as a courtesy, just we're
Yeah.
riding on the streets, just to let you know.
no, totally appropriate, okay.
You don't ask for like police
That's my
supports at certain corners or anything?
No, not around here, when it's the 24-mile route, things like that, where like Essex, everybody goes through and there's like a left-hand turn that the riders will take, we'll have somebody there because it's a little difficult to take that left-hand turn. But certain spots, we will have like a police detail where there's a lot of riders that will be going through. But here, it's not, we wish we had more 66-mile riders, but not everybody does that.
So what do we need the insurance for? What does the insurance cover us for if we're not? It seems like this is more moral support than anything.
Well, yeah, we also have the insurance for in case something happens to a rider, on the route.
Do we have that?
We do, yeah, we do have insurance.
They have their own,
Yeah, we have our own.
for all their riders.
Yeah.
Right. But normally normally we have something that lists the town of Topsfield as additionally insured.
I did send in a request, it's being worked on, but the motion is
No, I know.
Yeah, so it's something that we are still working on getting
Yeah.
from.
Okay.
I think you say public way, public access, no details necessary, not a town event.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of belt and suspenders. We're acknowledging that the event's taking place, we're approving it, it's, if there is the event, we are covered no matter what in this instance. Unless there's some negligence by the town.
So like if somebody hits a pothole, not that there are any.
A good example, yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that's no different than,
They
I
don't
mean,
exist.
they don't exist. Any given Saturday or Sunday, we'll get in excess of 125 cyclists coming through town, just recreationally, so.
Well, and the fact of the matter is, they get spread out so
That's right.
such a stretch that you don't even really know that what's going on. You see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 at a time, but then it just stretches out. And we've had a number of these things go on all the time.
That's right.
And it doesn't, if they came in groups, that would be an issue, but they don't.
Right, or if it started nearby and there's gonna be a huge crowd all at
Right,
once
yeah.
before it thins out, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they need a little auditory reminder not to drive three side by side.
Sometimes. A little cornhole you're talking?
So the insurance is basically just COA.
In a sense.
Council on Aging.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Okay. Any other questions?
I'm gonna make a move to approve the request from the Neurofibromatosis Northeast to hold their 43rd annual Coast to the Cure cycling event with with a route, I assume, that partially runs through Topsfield to be held on Saturday, September 6th, 2025, contingent upon insurance.
I'll second that, but I think it's 14th annual?
Yeah,
Well,
14th annual.
not 43rd annual. Oh, that's a long time running.
I'm manifesting for you.
Says 43rd here.
Well, it says technically 43rd,
Manifesting.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't even know how to pronounce that. But yes, that one, the
We're good.
13th or 14th,
The
whatever.
prediction in that chair was better than that.
I don't know what to tell you, I just reading what's in front of me.
Actually, it does say 14th down here in my end.
Okay, well, I'm reading on a
But
computer.
me
and
too,
I think we're
and it
waiting
says
for a second,
43rd on
aren't
the
we?
computer.
So I heard a second based on the amended motion.
Okay.
Any other discussion? See, I remember that time.
Seems like a cool event.
I have
to me.
found the high
It is,
point in
yeah.
the course for you, Michelle, in case you're worried. It's where Baldpate Road hits whatever road that the red line is going over, right by the Abraham Christmas tree farm.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's
One
around
hundred
that.
and 70 feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that.
I'm glad you wanna go through Topsfield.
Oh, well, it's great, it's nice out here, so.
It
yeah,
is nice.
Yeah,
It is very nice out here.
Nice place to ride.
Alright, we've had a motion, a second, no other second discussion, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright, thank you,
Great,
good luck.
Thank you,
We'll see you
I'll send
later.
that certificate to you.
Okay, perfect.
Great,
I'll
thank
email you.
And next, we were going to have an update on the summer programming, the rec programming. I'll start with Mr. Hartunian.
I thought you were looking at me.
So this summer, the town engaged with the Topsfield Athletic Association and some volunteers in the community as well around the introducing of a summer program. And we're 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in, time flies.
Wow.
And Kate Kerwick, who's here, is gonna give some updates, and more specifics, and answer any questions boards might have. And I were talking, we said, you know, what'd be really great is if we shared the successes so far, cause it's been just that. We weren't sure where this program was gonna be or where it was gonna go. But because of the people that have been working on it, and specifically, I'm gonna say thank you to Katie, this program's happening and has been very, very successful. So that's the headline and the subtext at the top. I'll leave it to Katie. If you wanted to give some more description of how the program's been going. Katie's out there every morning, every afternoon. We have staff there, very good numbers on staff. But she's there every single day. And I also thank Sam and Scott Hovey, our interim rec coordinator, for their work. It's really been a team effort of people from different places coming together to make sure this was a safe event and a fun event for the kids in our community. So Katie, I don't know if you wanna add anything.
I'm thankful for you too, Kevin. You've been so helpful, and same with you, Sam. They're out there every day too. It was a little messy to start, but it's going very well. We have 397 registered campers. And that was today, and it's parents asked at drop off today, you know, do you have space next week? So I think we're gonna hit a capacity of every single week, so that's awesome.
You mean across all 8 weeks, right? Not 397
That's
kids
the total.
today.
That's the total amount of
Okay.
registers.
Right.
We're capping at 60. We can cap it at 60, but we were doing it at 50 just because we were a little worried about the little park closing down and how it was gonna go with the staff and are these counselors really gonna show up? And honestly though, everything's worked out very well. It's been safe, which was our major concern, and fun. The campers love it, the counselors love it. The counselors in training, I mean, we had a car full of young kids come today and be like, can we help? And so I was like, for community service hours. But yes, you can, it's been awesome. So we're in week 5. Obviously, we've gotten like our bee stings and our bloody noses and that kind of stuff, but nothing out of the ordinary. The parents seem to be super appreciative that we have like an affordable option in the summer. We're kind of learning as we go, like 9 to 1 is a little long without lunch. At least for my kids, they come home ravenous. So we're just gonna, maybe shift the hours, maybe 9 to 12 we're thinking, but nothing out of the ordinary. We spent a lot of money on staffing, which it's really the only money we've spent. We're still gonna have $10,000 left over after, and I feel like it was a good thing to spend our money on to make sure that we were well staffed, but I think we can scale back next year on that because we have so many counselors in training. We didn't know if we'd have them. Those are our freshmen and sophomore, and they're honestly, we were kind of like, are they still kids? Are we gonna be watching them too? But they're so helpful and it's been great. It's really just like get dirty, have fun, play soccer, capture the flag. The fire department's been amazing. They've come down, spray the kids. The police department's bringing the dogs on Thursday. So like, it's just been really nice community event. Like we've got the football team doing football stuff. We've got track team doing relay races. So, and my boys are like, I want to go to Luke's soccer game. And we didn't know anybody, you know what I mean? High schoolers. So it's a nice connect with the younger kids, with the older kids. And the things we were really worried about was just keeping everyone contained, right? And I don't want to jinx ourselves, but so far so good. So thank you for your support, and we're already talking about next summer and how we can make it better, and we're gonna create a board of, on the TAA of like 5 or 7 people that can help support this. So it's not just me and the rec director and Kevin and Sam. But TAA has been really helpful too.
Yeah, Bill King's been great.
So yeah, we're figuring it out.
Sounds good.
Did I understand correctly that there's a maximum of 60 kids on any particular day?
On week, yes.
But you capped it at 50 to play
We
it safe.
did, correct. So we had a wait list option for each week just because we wanted some wiggle room, but we kind of realized that 50 to 60 is a good number. Our insurance allows us to have 60 that the TA is holding, but 60 is a lot,
Mm-hmm.
we're realizing.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, because I know that I don't think it was anticipated that you were going to spend that much time on the planning and participation.
The point was to drop my kids.
Right.
Because my husband's like, this is the ultimate backfire, but
But you did
hopefully.
it, so we really appreciate the time.
Thank you for
taken.
saying that, thank you.
And I know that due to the staffing changes, it required some conversation to kind of get things working. So everyone that was involved, thank you for doing that and making it work. It sounds like it's such a success
It
that
is.
you're probably gonna have it next year. I did speak to someone about a totally different subject and found out that that person helped coordinate the last summer program that was at Proctor, which was many years ago. But
Give him my
before that-
number.
and she said she'd be happy to help out.
Oh, I would
So
love
I'll
that.
let you know, I'll send you.
I would love to connect with her. Yes, that would
Yeah.
be great. Everyone that's helped, we have 2 on-site coordinators and they show up every day, they're energetic, they're great, and they're hardworking, and we honestly couldn't ask for this to have gone any better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job.
Kind of wish it was 6 weeks. So I could be like, we did it, you know what I mean, next week,
Yeah.
but we're almost there.
When does it end?
So the week of August 14th.
August 14th.
And I'd say everything's going well, but that's by design, like these things don't just happen, right? All the work that you've put into it and Kevin and Sam and the rest of town hall employees, that is the reason it is going so well. If you hadn't put all that work up ahead of time, well, there wouldn't have been a program, right? So, and it would have been a different outcome.
I'd like to expound on that a little bit. I can remember, my thought was 2 or 3 weeks ago, Kevin was really concerned about where this thing was gonna go. Because he was having trouble getting it organized, I thought, that was my impression. And you guys have come forward apparently and put it together. And it sounds like you've built a good team, sounds like you got something going good here. Now, the question for you is that team gonna be held together so that next year we can do the same thing and jump into the process earlier so that,
So that's why we're creating the board,
okay.
just to be realistic about the demand that it has on Kevin and Sam and myself. So we think a board of we're thinking like a town representative on it, a TAA representative on it, an onsite coordinator representative, maybe a counselor's parent. I was thinking a counselor might, so just a perspective from each facet, and we're hoping that having that board in place will lessen the workload on us.
However you do it is fine, I just wanna
Yeah,
make sure
no.
that you're looking forward to creating something that
I'm a
might
nurse.
be
We start
ongoing.
the discharge when you get admitted, so this summer is already, I'm on to next summer, so.
I think the foundation is great. I think that what we built on top of that, didn't know what it was gonna look like exactly, but
Yeah.
perseverance prevailed, and I think we still got some work to do. As Katie said, eye on the prize, make sure everyone maintains that level of safety and fun, but it's been a great, and I love the, I don't wanna call it intergenerational necessarily, but
No,
you have
me too, that's the best part.
it's kids looking, making relationships with the counselors, and Luke's one of the counselors that
My kids are just beside themselves, and then you see, one of them at Alex's, and like they're celebrities, so, yeah,
Celebrities.
yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't even considered that aspect, but that is good.
And
That's
those
pretty cool,
parents,
yeah.
I think, are more appreciative than the campers' parents. The high schoolers' parents are like, how do I sign up for next year? They have to wake up in the morning and go, and so.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I guess they're all napping when they get home, all the high
Yeah.
schoolers, because they're so exhausted, yeah.
Well, that's, that'll be help with sustainability if you have
Oh,
half of
everyone's
them return
asking,
or 2/3 of them return
Yeah.
this year to work.
yeah,
Awesome.
yes.
Now, now that this is running and it works well, do you think there's enough physical land or capacity to increase it to 70 or 80 kids, or is 60 the right number?
Good question.
we'll leave it up to the board.
She doesn't want any more.
That's a good question. I think we could expand. I just didn't know if we were gonna get the counselors, you know what I mean, like the people to work it, and I definitely think that we can. I'm just a little bit, I'm just so glad that we're able to keep it safe right now, and I just don't wanna, burst that, yeah. I was just worried about wanderers going to Gills and, and I feel like right now we're really able to keep everyone.
One of those really, really hot days I drove by and the kids were out front in the shade,
So
which
we,
made a lot of sense.
I didn't love that.
Yeah, no,
I was the one standing on the sidewalk being like, can we go back? It
yeah,
felt,
but it
but we
really made
did find
sense.
shade
There's
and
more risk from the heat than there was the cars.
we canceled one day because of heat. That's been a
Yeah.
little tricky. That's where we get the rumblings of the rain days.
Sounds to me like Katie has had her table full and she doesn't need to expand the program yet. Maybe next year, after you've had a chance to think about this a little bit more, but
Yeah,
the fact that you've got it going now is cool, in my opinion.
thank you. Yes, we're so happy with how it's gone. I was very nervous and it's gone very well.
You did it.
Yes, we did it. Yep. Thanks to you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Few more weeks, well,
I know, I'm like knocking
I get-
on wood here. We got 3 more weeks, but
So
yeah,
far, so good.
so far so good.
I get the impression Katie's gonna do it again next year.
I just love it.
Oh, really?
Why do my 4 kids? Let's just do 60 kids every
Right.
week. Yeah. But
Gary,
they all like it and
did you go to the one, Gary, did you go to the camp when you were a kid?
I did, that's where I learned how to do GIMP.
GIMP, yes. Now it's Rainbow Loom.
Oh, still GIMP.
It's Rainbow Loom.
Yeah.
We just Amazon 9 packages of Rainbow Loom. But they sell like GIMP.
Was
Yep.
Boyd on the board when you were in the?
Boyd might have had a counselor.
They had to change the name because they took the lead out of it, is my guess.
Yeah.
There's lead and mercury in it when we were kids.
That could explain a few things for me.
Oh, and I just say a special thank you to Julie, our public health nurse. and our finance team,
Oh,
Morgan,
yes,
Morgan and Amanda,
Pam.
Pam, everybody pulling together, again, figuring out the roles, figuring out the responsibilities and doing it in, I'd say, somewhat short order, but doing it right. And everyone, it was heartening to see everybody when we're getting closer to it and through some of the transition, people stand up and say, how can I help? And, you know,
That's awesome.
it's great team effort, but don't let it be said otherwise. This doesn't happen without Katie Kerwig, so thank you, Katie.
I get that impression.
And I will note that big picture, this was one of the things that we heard people wanted. And I didn't think, there was a period when we maybe shouldn't have executed this summer right away. But in terms of delivering something that townspeople asked for, behind a restaurant, and maybe bigger garbage cans, this is about where, in terms of immediate desires, this was one of them. So
We have families that have gotten rid of their nannies, that, you know what I mean, coming up to us in the pickup line, like with their eyes filled with tears, being like, thank you, thank you.
And just to give it some relative, what is 1 week, if I have one kid in 1 week?
500, that's
This,
finger. Oh,
no, here,
Here is $100
okay.
for the week.
So I have two 15-year-olds and we were looking at doing them as counselors in training, so kind of like employees through a YMCA camp. $700 you would have to
You have to
pay
pay, yeah.
to the YMCA to let them use your kids as employees.
Well, my girls are at Brooks this week because I didn't trust we were gonna do this, and I'm like, and it's $500 for
Yep.
each kid. And they don't even go on Friday,
So
$100 a week?
per kid.
in terms of a
And that's
public,
not even, like, that's, there are many that are more.
again, $700 to be a counselor in training.
To pay to work,
To pay to work,
yes.
I would have to give them $700 per kid. So and
wildly
when you
affordable.
think about this as an actual public service, yes, people are paying, but they're paying a literal fraction of the cost that pretty much any other camp around here would cost.
So that's, do you think it will be okay if we do go from 9 to 1 to 9 to 12, like keep the price you, okay, I do too.
Why, just out of curiosity, why not have them bring their lunch and have lunch together?
Just the allergy.
Oh, it is, okay.
We're just nervous about, we still accept EpiPens and, you know what I mean, and we're
Yes.
willing to help and we're
Yeah.
willing to be nut-free and it just adds a component that we were, yeah.
Plus it's a mess, you gotta clean up is a
Then all
task.
trash.
Yeah, our counselors have done a really good job. Last 30 minutes, we're like, go around.
Do the counselors, the young counselors and counselors in training get paid?
Yes, not the
I see
counselors in
it's-
training,
Okay, but the counselors,
but
so
they don't
imagine,
have to pay
Yeah,
to
we
come.
don't charge,
but I
they help
imagine
us.
this could be the first paycheck for a lot of them.
Some of the counselors, yeah, and they're working so hard.
Great.
And these.
I know too, there'll be 16-year-olds by that point who'll be looking for work next year.
Send them my way, they're hired.
And these are typically high school kids?
Yes, mostly Masco and St. John's Prep. Actually, it's all Masco or St. John's Prep. And they're all friends and I don't know, it's really nice. It's really nice.
I've said this before. Several weeks ago, this sounded like it was kind of shaky because Kevin didn't quite know how this was gonna be handled. I think, I may be putting words in your mouth, but the fact that you guys came together, put this all together in a relatively short period of time.
Well,
And
the rec director quitting the Wednesday before the month, so Jocelyn left Wednesday and it started Monday. So it was.
So you're saying that wasn't helpful?
So that, you know, that was kind of an issue.
That might have been helpful, actually.
If we just wanna say it, I'm happy to say it. So that was a little bit of a wrench, but we figured it out.
I was confident the whole time.
Oh, good. We were too, right?
Honestly, I was.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
We had a good,
Solvable.
all the people pulled together, and TAA, they were at the table and they were so supportive, they were just like, how do we get this done?
Yeah, Bill King.
A lot of whiteboarding, a lot of
Sounds
whiteboarding.
awesome.
See,
Those
I'm
kids
beginning to
following.
think that this is on the agenda tonight just because we happen to have a TA review on the agenda
Well,
as well.
I will say
nothing
that,
to do with
Wish I was that strategic.
I didn't even know, yeah.
and Kevin will attest that more than once I may have applied undue pressure at the importance of actually making this happen. Like, yes, I hear there are lots of problems, we can't cancel it now, so it has to happen.
Correct.
Katie, you'd made such an impression on me, but I think we could find other jobs that you could help.
Kevin's tried.
There was a
I'm not done.
position
I'm sure we will.
And he's not done.
And I'm gonna help
I've
him.
declined, but thank
I'm
you.
gonna help him.
I've declined.
We need people like you,
Oh,
thank you.
that's so nice. I'm happy to volunteer. I'm happy to be out there. We have a really nice team and I'm so glad to be involved and I'm just so proud of us all for making it happen for all these families. I mean, everybody's over the moon, yeah.
And I hope they know where the credit belongs. Okay, thank you for coming and thanks for the
Thank
update.
you.
Yes,
We
thank you
look
very
forward to
much.
hearing about the
Thank you.
successful completion of the
Yes,
program.
yes, exactly. Knock on wood.
And
All
we'll
right.
know about it, we'll know about it.
Thank you.
Next up, I would like to move the agenda around a little bit. We've got Gary here, so I'd propose that we have Gary go next, and then I know we wanted to get to Mr. Hartunian's review on the earlier side of things as well. So unless anyone's opposed, or is it just within my authority to deem it so?
You just get to do it.
Alright,
Well, I think 4 and 5 are gonna be continued.
by the power vested in me, let's go to.
Wait, the public hearings are gonna be continued?
Well, no, we'll get to that.
Oh, I was just, he just.
Yeah, they are. Shh. Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
I just yelled at.
So I'm going to use my power and say, let's go to item number F, Public Works Road Materials.
You need more stuff.
No, this is merely just an approval. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is just 3 extensions of the original contract that you approved a little over a year ago. There are 3 separates.
It was already a year
I know,
ago?
it went by very fast.
That was really a year ago?
Yes.
When we talked about bituminous?
Exactly, yes,
Bituminous.
Sam couldn't spell it.
Bituminous.
Say it or
Bituminous.
spell it. That's my red
Very good
flag.
call at first.
Bituminous?
It's
Bituminous.
I don't know if that's really a TV word.
2 minutes.
Sorry, I digress.
But anyway, so the first one would be for hot mix bituminous in place. The second would be the cold replaning, which is a milling process to take up the old surface. And the third that is rarely used, but it's more for roads that are much worse off, is full depth reclaiming. But these are all contracts just to be extended for another year.
So type 3 reclamation, that's the most serious.
That would be, yeah, that's full depth, usually 16 to 18 inches, everything down gets drummed, ground up, regraded and rolled again.
And how do we measure? It's per square foot, huh?
Square yard on those two, yeah, so the milling and the full depth reclaiming is square yardage prices.
And how much do you expect that to total? Let's see.
I think full depth reclaiming is $1.74 a square yard.
This says 288, 285.
285,
Sorry,
285, 315 and 83.95 per ton.
I'm not gonna remember
So-
what they were last year.
Up to 600,000, 631,000.
the last contract, so our per tonnage, like the tonnage price
Yeah.
for asphalt was $66.72 a ton. And we were fortunate in that we signed the previous 3-year contract at an advantageous time of prices were down, diesel was down, so those things were in our favor. It was $1.80 for milling and $1.74 for the reclaim.
But these prices here are the same as they were last
A year
year
ago,
because
yes.
it's the same contract.
Yes, yeah, when they enter into that, it's technically a 3-year, we just like to do it, and I'd still like.
This is second of a 3-year?
Yes. It gives us the flexibility, if any of the vendors don't maybe measure up like they were, it gives us the opportunity if we need to go in another direction.
But you've liked Allstate Construction Incorporated.
Yes.
Right. Well, then I'm gonna move to approve a contract between the town of Topsfield and Allstate Construction Incorporated of Sunderland, Massachusetts for a type 3 reclamation of existing asphalt pavement with a unit price of $2.85 per square yard.
Alright, any other discussion or questions for Gary on this first motion?
So the total for the 3 types of material of work is not to exceed 632,000.
So these are unit contracts that we signed into. I think if you're looking at something on a note there, it's from Amanda. It's presently what we have roughly in our chapter 90 account. So I whenever I'm going to do some work, I sit down with Amanda, obviously to make sure the money is there. But we are getting more money coming up in the next 5 years from chapter 90. Where if we did an old not to exceed number, I would have to stop there and we can't do anything about it. So we went to this unit contract. We checked with the Attorney General, they said that is absolutely fine. Deppet, Morong, and myself got a hold of them and they called us back. So this unit pricing now is really just the way to go for us. It doesn't prohibit us to get to a ceiling and then we have excess money and we can't spend it.
Okay.
So the chapter 90 funding cycle is fiscal years?
Yes, yeah, I'm waiting for
June to July.
fiscal 26 to drop the apportionment. I haven't seen it yet. It's anticipated to be 423,000 with the new bill that the governor signed. I think our normal average is around 255 from the formula they use.
So that's less than the 632, right? 400?
That's an old number that we had at the time.
Where is 632 coming from? Okay.
It's handwritten on the.
That's Amanda's writing that we had at the time when I was paving last year. So that was the actual on-hand money that we had available to use.
Is it cumulative from the state or we just use a 12-month cycle and?
It rolls over, so, and there's a Fair Share Act funding we're also going to be getting, so that's gonna be another bonus for us, thank goodness. And the governor guaranteed it for the next 5 years, I believe, which is a huge help.
I know we've had that our chapter 90 appropriation is also considers how many roads and how many miles. And the superintendent and his team, Dina, Travis, did some really great work. Is it 20 roads, Gary, that we pushed to the state for state acceptance that were locally accepted?
We have in the queue right now, one got accepted, the other 15 that we put in that we realized had not been submitted and presented to the state for acceptance over the years. Now, once those finally get accepted, we start getting that lane mileage towards the formula that they use for us to get. So we'll start realizing, more dollars there. It's not huge, but it's still at the end of the day, every little penny
Dollar
counts.
And because this falls a little bit into the area that I can talk about, I can tell you that the Fair Share Edition the formula is different than the standard chapter 90, and it only considers road miles.
Yes.
So that's where a straight up addition of roads is gonna give us, mile for mile more money.
Yeah, the current formula is jobs, residents, and lane miles. And how they formulate that.
Getting more publicly accepted roads creates more mileage for this.
It does,
Yes.
yeah, because if they're not accepted by the state,
I would like to emphasize
not
that a
gonna
little bit,
give us
because
the
we
money
don't,
for it.
we don't pay too much attention to the fact that we've got a number of unaccepted roads in town. And we need to continue to work to try to get those updated. I know that Kevin and Gary have been involved in this on and on and on for the last 2 or 3 years. But the fact of the matter is, every time we get those accepted, our chapter 90 money funds go up.
And is that evaluated once a year, so like get it done by a certain time and?
It's a difficult thing now that MassDOT has gotten high tech on us. Because now they know what is and isn't accepted. In the years gone by, it was just you submit it and they're gonna give you, you can go ahead and pave that road. Some might say that some of those roads were not accepted, but it went through because they weren't tracking it. Now with the new Grant Central portal, nothing gets by anyone.
which makes it easier to get grants.
It does, yes, it does. The portal is, I have to
Look
say
at there,
they've
I
pivoted.
think we've got somebody
They've gone through
involved in
3
that.
iterations of it to finally get to this one, if they just leave it alone for a few years.
Oh, no, there's enough.
So my question though was related to Boyd's, we're trying to get this done. Is there if you get it done by this date, you get more money? Otherwise you have to or if you don't, you have to wait another year, or is it like a rolling?
I think the answer to your question is, once they get accepted, so like right now, we just got into fiscal 26.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for those 15 my feeling is, and I don't know this for sure, is those wouldn't be till fiscal '27. So
I
if they accept
believe-
those other 15.
I believe there's a point at which the MassDOT people go through and divide up the money based on miles. And so obviously, if you added miles after they've done that, and they do it down to the penny. So that, I don't think there is a set date for that because the governor has to sign a budget and then the thing, so we're in that window roughly of where that will be.
And
But after that point, you gotta wait till 1 year
Next
later.
year, right.
I think there's a backlog too, so I think when Travis was inputting it in for us for the acceptances of what we had data and stamped by the clerk for the town meeting of the acceptance, there was 44,000 streets that have been inputted by other towns.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many are working there, but everybody is now doing the same thing because MassDOT knows what is and what isn't.
So we can shrink by standing still, 'cause our
Yes.
That's right, you got it.
So then the answer is the sooner the better.
Yes,
It's very prescriptive, the steps you have to take to accept a road locally, and we've engaged with KP Law Lee Smith, who's their real estate person. All the work that Gary and his team have performed, we're at that point now where we're saying, okay, now tell us exactly what we need to do from a legal perspective and we'll do it. So I know Superintendent's working with KP, and once we get through that step, the idea is to do this hopefully before we start getting into our budget cycle too, cause that takes up a lot of our time in our meetings, so we will be coming back as the next step, likely formally with the board, is to lay out the roads that need to be accepted locally. I think at that point it then gets, if it's accepted, it goes to the planning board for review, and if approved there, it then goes to town meeting. But there's, deeding of rights to the road, the town has to have the deeded rights. There's a lot of steps in the process, and each road we're learning too, I should say each road, most roads have a little bit of something going on with it that makes it, there's an easement, or if there's a development that land to get transferred over, conservation restrictions, things of that nature that need to be sorted before we can accept the road. But every road has some reason why it wasn't in the past, and those are the things we're working through.
I think ultimately now, besides the 15 that are submitted, we've really got just 8 that we need to solve.
Yeah.
Roughly, that need to have some approval of them so we can finally get those in there as well. And a couple of those, unfortunately, are roads that are in dire need, so we really do need to find that. And this is not the first time, and others have taken this up for the last 50, 60 years and haven't been able to solve it.
I gotta tell you, I've been on the road commissioners for 15 years, and I can tell you, we've talked about this for 15 friggin' years. And it's not an easy process to try to get through this. It is terribly complicated to meet the requirements of what meets an accepted road. I'm comfortable, however, we have a representative here that is now involved in the process, and I'm hoping he can help us.
I can speak to it, I can't move anything. Don't be looking for me to hit a button anymore.
But it is a complicated process, and I'm telling you, it is not easy. So we'll work forward to that, and Gary's gonna have that on his stamped on his forehead for years.
So,
Trying to go on any longer.
I'll ask, are there any other questions related to the contract between the town of Topsfield
Yeah.
and
It's a great
Allstate Construction, which is what the motion is?
Is Bear Hill Road on one of the ones that's gonna get worked on?
It's done, Bear
It's
Hill's
done.
paved,
Done, okay.
it's gorgeous.
We did
Yes.
the entire, actually everything I could off of Bear Hill, in that section. We couldn't do Thompson, that's
Did she
one
call
of
There
it?
was the temporary
I hate
section.
going by and leaving that short shoot, but
Just because somebody very specifically asked me about Thompson, well, tell me later.
Yeah.
Let me know what alright, any
Well,
other,
I just wanna tell you that 6 months ago or so, there was a list put out about all the unaccepted roads in town and listed on them.
yes.
You can get that if you'd like to see, and it lists all of those unaccepted
Oh, I
roads.
can't wait.
I'll bet you can't.
alright, we've had a second and a motion and exuberant discussion about the price of existing reclamation.
Bituminous.
So I'll put it up for a vote on the first motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright.
I move to approve a contract between the town of Topsfield and EG Paving Company of Methuen, Massachusetts for type 1 bituminous concrete with a unit price of $83.95 per ton.
Second.
I second with one change, EJ payment.
That's what I said.
You said EG.
Well, in my head, it was EJ.
Alright, so we have a second on the amended
I was
motion.
giving you some slack on that one.
She is,
J
she
and
is
G,
so
come on.
tough.
We have to get it right. EG Paving is a different company. Maybe.
See if I'm gonna make the
Marshall,
next
just
motion.
re-say it.
Alright, let's start over.
Take your stick in the motions.
Okay.
No, I'm done, I'm out.
Alright, anyone else wanna make a proper motion?
Vote to approve a contract between the town of Topsfield and EJ Paving of Company of Methuen, Mass. For type 1 bituminous concrete with a unit price of $83.95 per ton.
Second,
Alright, any other discussion on this one?
What's the name of the company?
EJ Paving Company of Methuen,
Thank you.
Massachusetts.
Just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Alright, hearing no other discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright. Someone else?
Vote to approve a contract between the town of Topsfield and Tread Milling Company of Methuen, Mass. For type 2 bituminous concrete excavation with a unit price of $3.15 per square yard.
second,
Alright. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
aye.
Alright.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright, thank you very much, Gary.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You should mark down the questions we asked because we will be asking them probably in a year again.
Yes, and we will have the bituminous conversation.
Okay,
Good night.
Bye,
and
Gary.
in keeping with moving things around, I'm hoping that we can get to item J next, which was TA
You can go in the regular
Hartini's-
order if you want,
Whatever you want.
pressure's off.
Pressure's off?
Greg's here
Okay,
tonight.
okay, then
Oh, there he is.
Then let's see, go to item G.
Here we go. All the way from the north end.
Well,
Perfect
two
time.
79 Boston Street today.
So we are going to go to item G, which is the DN Tanks contract acceptance or change order, more appropriately, I guess.
Vote to approve a contract between town of Topsfield and DN Tanks of Wakefield, Mass. For pavement restoration beyond the bid that is required by Mass DOT in the amount of $60,134.98 and for the chair to sign.
I'll second it.
Alright,
Then we should have some
we
discussion.
should probably have some
Whoa,
discussion.
I'll bet.
Start with Mr. Hartunian.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Superintendent Crom is here tonight to give you the details and answer any specific questions, but generally speaking, the tank, this is relative to the tank that we've been building up at the DPW building. As part of the work that was required, there was the old tank to the existing tank. There was some road work and pipe work that was needed. As a result of that and the requirements of MassDOT on the restoration of the road, it's required that additional work on the road than was initially budgeted was required. And so what you have in front of you tonight is the cost associated with that, is my understanding.
Correct.
So I don't know, I will stop talking and allow
So
Mr.
this-
Crom to add anything additional.
So the state essentially required more rigorous restoration than we had anticipated
Of Route
of the
1.
road service?
Of Route 1, and so
Now,
they,
that's my question, was it Route 1 we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
and Route 1 was paved a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
a couple years ago.
Which is a state.
A few years ago. So usually when there's a road that's recently been paved, they do have a higher standard, understandably, in restoration. And I will say that I know Mr. Crom and Mr. Wilds were working hard to try to find if there was any funding from the state to pay for the required work. Timing wise, end of the fiscal year, when we were notified, it wasn't ideal. And it's something rare when a project that we're causing that some disruption that they will pay for it, but we have asked and inquired to try to find some relief other than adding to the cost of the project. That said, we don't give up easy. We'll keep asking the questions of the different agencies that might have funding to help support it, but as of this time, we have to assume the cost will be borne on us, and that's why it's a change order in the contract.
Yeah, so that's 60,000 and that's the water rate payers, the retained earnings, or
It's part of the appropriation for the tank. So we appropriated, it was 3.8 million. There was about $100,000 left over for contingency, so that's part of that.
so it's coming out of contingency.
It's, we have the funds, it's just, it's not under the contract.
Sam,
Okay,
can you hear him when he talks?
good.
So that was my question. The sticky note in there was super helpful, but the 800,000 is listed as RE,
Retained earnings.
retained earnings. Thank you.
So I took a drive up there today, the tank is enormous. So last time I was
It is
there,
big.
it just was, they were just putting the walls on, so it's pretty amazing. Are you talking about, there's already new pavement on Route 1, are they saying that's not sufficient? You're gonna have to rip that up and put new?
No, the work has already been done.
Oh, okay,
So basically, the work you see in Route 1 is what Mass DOT required. The work that was in the driveway is kind of what our contract required.
oh.
So when in the driveway, you can see these, 6 or 8 foot stripes of new pavement where they actually excavated. But out in the street, they wanted curb to curb.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
I thought when we were gonna move that tank, that we would probably go under Route 1 with a water main.
Well, there's
Did
one
we
there
actually,
already.
we didn't dig a trench across Route 1.
We did.
I think it probably looks like that right there.
There's a few reasons for that. Years ago, probably 2007, the original water main serving the Public Works building broke pretty much under Route 1. So a new 8-inch main was drilled underneath the road. And then as part of the treatment project, another 8-inch main was sent down the backside of the property to Howland Street. So both of those pipes are very deep. Some of them are over 20 feet deep. And if they ever fail, it's gonna be a big task to get them fixed. So when we had to build the tank, those two 8-inch mains weren't sufficient for fire flow, so we had to run a new 12-inch main. And I wanted that one easily accessible, so if it does break, we're not having to get a directional drill contractor and you're on short notice, we can just get a backhoe and dig it up and fix it.
How deep is it?
This is only 5 to 6 feet deep, just like the rest of the main.
So you put a new 12-inch main under Route 1,
All the way down the driveway from the tank.
all the way down the driveway from the tank. That was not included in the price of the contract.
No, that was included in the price, it's just when we dug the trench on Route 1, we were talking about milling like a 6 or 8 foot strip to repair the road.
Yeah.
And repaving that strip.
Yeah.
Mass DOT made us go from curb to curb for 200 feet length of Route 1. 200 feet. So that's the difference.
So that's the difference.
Mass DOT giveth and
I was gonna say,
DOT taketh away.
one moment ago, we were singing their praises, so.
Now we have a representative here
If only we had a
who's gonna
contact
fix
that could
that
help us
for
with
us
these
too,
things.
so.
If only we had a contact that could help us with this.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, I'd also say just generally speaking, because this is a piece of the water tank, I know different times the board's been up at the facility to see the progression as Member Mercier Link mentioned. But even shorthanded, Greg Crom, our superintendent's been doing a phenomenal job project managing this. It's a significant project for the town, important project for the town, and we're on schedule and on budget. So all the contingencies covering the cost of this, that's what that's there for.
So we got $100,000 contingency and we've used 16 and then 60. So
Yeah, I
we
think
used like
it's roughly
70.
100,000, I think we probably have about 60 to 70,000 left.
According to this, we had a previously approved change order of 16.6
Right.
and today of 60.1. So that's 77.
I think it,
leaving us 23.
with these change orders, I think it's closer to say 60,000 left over. The contingency.
Okay.
I should say, two of Gary's guys helped out quite a bit on this road work. They were taking turns going out there most nights. Travis Good and Pat Nolan were watching this work every night when they were working.
So most of that work on Route 1 was done at night?
All of it was, yeah.
See, I don't remember it happening, cause I
Was asleep.
Right.
Yeah, are you out driving Route 1 at night or?
no, I didn't remember it,
They couldn't get on the road until 9 o'clock at night and had to be off by 5 a.m.
Wow.
Well,
I think it was one day when a little after that 5, but
Yeah, that was kind of a.
But-
We were being circled by news helicopters that day.
yeah, I heard the
Was
WBC.
it the car accident day?
There was delays in the morning, but it cleaned up right before the rush hour rush. But it went a little after the 5, and it's as rush hour picked up, we were starting to wind down. But the area was opened up. They had to finish the work. So
and that was what those metal plates were, right? The metal plates?
Yes,
yeah.
the metal plates were covering the trench.
A little bit off of the subject, but somewhat connected. We've got a new storage tank, we've got it connected, and it looks like an awesome project, awesome. If you haven't been there to look at it, you gotta go look, 'cause like Michelle said, it is huge. The question I've got is, where are we gonna go with the old tank, Greg? We gotta negotiate to get rid of that thing somehow, I mean, how are we gonna do that?
Well, we were hoping to use some federal funding to demolish it. Right now, my plan is, once the new tank is online, there's a series of valves we can close to isolate the tank, and if the valves are tight, then we'll just empty it, pump it out and empty it, and kind of just abandon it in place until we are able to demolish it.
the other option is to put an antenna on top of it.
Make it an ADU.
But that might be a little.
Make it an ADU.
Is demolishing that tank on us, or is it on the property owner,
No,
or?
it's on us.
It's on the town.
On us?
Yeah.
So we were hoping for, we had previously been in the running for some federal funding through a federal earmark to help with this project. Unfortunately, due to a freeze of all federal spending, our project was not available, the funding was not available to us this year. We're hoping it will be available next year. And if that money does become available, it'll help us both with the other project that's happening with the water mains
Lockwood?
at Lockwood
Mm.
and offset some of the debt that we'd have, some of the funds we appropriated in the sources of funding we appropriate at town meeting. And or the demolition of the old tank.
You gotta demolish it sometime.
Well, yeah, but beyond its usable life for holding water, it's not like it's about to crumble down to the ground either, right? So it could theoretically stay there
No,
for quite a
it's
while.
not really doing a great job of holding water, but it's not gonna fall.
Yeah,
down.
this is what I'm saying.
Down, I agree.
Yeah,
Um,
so that would, unless we have some pressing need to reutilize that land, or it's about to fall down or something, I would not make it a priority to spend money to get rid of it.
We'll have to find a grant for this one. Demo of an old water tank's not a really fun place to put our money.
Maybe we can store the
course
stuff
not.
in Ten's booster.
Plus getting
Listen, I'm
in,
just trying to come up with
getting in and
ideas.
out of there with
Maybe
trucks
hole right there.
is not easy.
No, I can't imagine building the tank we just built over there would be nearly impossible.
But getting the old one out is gonna be equally difficult too, because the access to that site,
They're
It's
gonna
not
have to come
good.
out with a 6-wheeler and load it into a triaxle or a tractor trailer in our parking lot.
that's a subject for another day.
I think if the valves hold and that we can, turn it off, that's right now the best option. The
Yeah.
other options are not great.
Are you gonna paint the new tank, kinda like the ones on 93 South?
Wasn't planning on it, no.
That's the
Is that
gas
something-
tank,
Yeah, but they,
right?
similar size, I think.
I think a
They're
big,
huge.
I think a big
Poaching in.
Patriots, I think a big Patriots.
Well, hold on though, paint it for who to see, him?
I think
I
if you wanna paint it.
Nobody goes up
I think-
there,
I
for
think
sure, you're
the
right.
thing to do is paint the roof of it, so all the people flying over in the landing pad for Logan
There you go.
can see it, cause
Big
that's gonna be a lot more
happy
eyeballs.
The
face.
rooster.
The rooster.
Shinawimity.
I will share very quickly, though some of you may know, and I may get my cities reversed, but I believe somebody in the city of Milwaukee painted their very large rooftop on the landing path into the Milwaukee airport, welcome to Cleveland.
Oh,
Just to
no.
panic passengers who were on their way,
That's an
thinking that they
elaborate
were on
joke.
their way to something, yeah. Painted his roof, welcome to Cleveland.
Amazing.
They didn't realize they were insulting themselves.
So we've had a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Alright, all those in favor? Aye.
Right.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Go forth and pay for the paving we have already done, sir.
Thank you.
Greg, that was a huge project and you pulled it off 90% at this point in
Yeah.
time.
There's still some stuff going on, the tank contractor has been busy cleaning up and they've actually been a victim of the Republic.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, God.
they got Teamsters,
Well,
I
Republic
thought
had
you
their
meant the new
dumpster
federal
there,
government.
which they couldn't get emptied, so they had to bring in a dumpster from some other company.
oh no.
Oh, boy.
But they're busy cleaning up the site, they'll probably be off-site by tomorrow, and the site contractor's gonna come up and have to do some more piping work and some electrical conduits and some control lines and things like that.
And when that's all done, do we get another opportunity to use the giant scissors?
Yeah,
Is there
Oh,
a ribbon
sorry.
cutting?
that's
we're gonna-
amazing.
We're gonna go up and open.
It's me this time, Sam.
You
It's okay.
you could, but
Take 'em.
my point is that the next, we probably have about a month or so, certainly 2 or 3 weeks. There's a 2-foot diameter
Make it.
porthole in the side, a manway. So if you wanna take a look inside, maybe go
We're gonna-
inside.
Yes. Yes.
Raphael's going in.
Now's the time to do it.
I would do that.
You would do that?
Would my bike fit in there? Can I ride my bike in circles?
There's a porthole, you can go right in. Without a light.
Not me.
It's an amazing structure.
Oh, it
Really
really, it is amazing.
800,000
I was up there and watched him
Yeah.
and and
You're not wearing your glasses, you can't see.
The guy gave me the rundown on how they built it.
Love it.
And it's incredible that they put 30 miles of cable around that thing and
Yeah.
then stretched it tight to keep the thing from falling apart. It's just unbelievable. Amazing.
I was
Amazing.
talking to them and I figured they would have just done, figure out what the hydrostatic pressure of the water was and maybe do a few multiples of that, but it's the actual pre-stressing on that tank is like 200 PSI plus the water pressure they have to overcome. So it is cinched really tight.
It is cinched tight, yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Alright,
Have a good
Big project,
then
good job, thank you.
Can't wait to turn it on.
unless somebody we can just go? You're good?
Thanks, Greg.
Okay.
We-
Then let's go back to the public hearing, the Evermore at Pierce Farm. The Town of Topsfield Select Board legal notice in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 15A, notice is hereby given that the Topsfield Select Board, as the licensing authority, will hold a public hearing on Monday, June 30th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Because that's when you originally opened the public hearing.
To act on a request for an all premises all alcohol beverage license by the following applicant, Michelle Gallant of Topsfield Functions LLC DBA, Evermore Pierce Farm Estate, located at 116 Boston Street, Topsfield, Massachusetts, signed by yours truly, Raphael McDonald, Select Board Chair.
Well,
That would be Michael Gallant.
Yes, Michael Gallant, thank you.
well, we have an awful lot of people here to talk about that.
We did get a request from the applicant that they are still working on some of the information that has been requested from the ALAC. We did have the ALAC recommendations at our last meeting. It must have come in later in the day, cause I somehow missed them. So there's stuff still being worked on, and the actual applicant has asked that we continue the meeting, the public meeting, until our next meeting on August 4th.
Okay, so
So
we're skipping this.
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing to August 4th, 2025.
And I'll second.
Second.
I'm the only one who didn't try a second.
I'm gonna give it to Boyd, although I guess it's not my
I gave
call,
it to
you two.
Michelle because you already written down. You accepted it last month.
Okay.
Fact, man, she already recorded
I
it, so
know.
it doesn't make any difference what you say.
I know. So who made the motion then?
You did.
Oh, okay. Alright, any other discussion about continuing the public meeting? Hearing none, all in favor?
Just,
Wait, hold on, go ahead, go ahead.
we just, I think the last time we talked about this, our alcoholic advisory committee had an issue with 100 people per police detail or 200 people per police detail. Didn't we talk about that?
I don't think that was in the ALAC letter.
Oh, I didn't see that, okay. I don't know that. Okay, and I'll retract. I thought that was an issue at one point in time.
Something to be discussed.
Well, I was gonna say, wouldn't that be what the public hearing would be about?
Yes.
So I mean, we can discuss it now before we continue it. Discussion
Well, I
can continue.
think there was an issue between our alcoholic advisory committee wanted to have a set number. And our police department said, that's not really an issue because we've never had an issue in that regard before. And I think the issue was 100. They wanted 100 police detail in case there were more than 100 people there. And our police department said, we don't need a police detail at 100 people. We've never had an issue with that.
I just don't remember seeing that in the ALAC recommendation, but maybe I missed it.
Well, this is something we talked about
Those discussions,
2 or
so
3 weeks ago.
yeah,
or
something
months ago.
So when maybe my understanding is that when the licenses were first being created and the licenses were initially issued to some of the original applicants who then received liquor licenses for on-site, there was specifically at event and conference centers, there was a discussion, and I believe talking with the current chair, who was the chair at the time, I'm familiar, that the former police chief, having not previously had liquor license or these types of events, had asked that there be a police detail associated to ensure the utmost safety. Talking with our current police chief, Chief Hovey, during this application, and it came up in our last application as well. We did not vary from it, but I asked the question, what's our data? How many events have we had issues with? And there's virtually none. I estimate that we've had thousands of events since the licenses at these different facilities, and the reality has been that we've only seen a few incidences that involve the police in any capacity, not just talking arrests, but just interactions with. Statistically speaking, there hasn't been issues that require the police. Now, maybe it's because the police are present already, or maybe not, because we haven't had issues in other events when the caterers come in to events venues to do it as well, where they don't have police detail. There's an equity question between our brick and mortar, our local businesses that are serving alcohol on site versus the event centers where caterers are coming in. We require at a greater than 99, so 100 or more police detail. The others, there's no requirement for police detail for any number. And we haven't had issues in either environment. So one of the things I think when we do have further discussion on this particular application, and I think this is a separate conversation in some regards than the application itself, is, we have data, we have historically seen what has and hasn't happened. What's the fairest way to go about the requirement for police details? And I'll wait till the chief's back to maybe speak to it in more detail in more from here, but that's been the initial conversation is, are we competitive in the marketplace? Is there an issue that we're trying to solve for? And what does it look like going forward?
I mean, there is a dramatic difference in safety based on locations of these entrances and exits. Like, that's probably one of the more dangerous places for an entrance exit.
Well, I'm
Where
not sure
Pierce
dangerous,
Farmers-
but precarious.
Precarious, as opposed to like down in the flats,
Yeah,
coming out of the main driveway for the fair where you have visuals
Yeah.
in both directions for quite a ways, and people are slowing down anyway.
I would say Pierce Farm used to have, did not have a liquor license, but they had the same events taking place for many, many years without any issues, without having a police detail. So if you compare what's been going on, it should be pretty similar what's going to. The only difference is the liquor license will be in-house versus having a third party someone who's not necessarily as familiar with Topsfield coming in, serving at that event, and then having people leave the venue.
And I don't
So there's
know-
liquor at both types of
There
events,
has
it's just a
been.
matter of who is serving.
Yes.
That's 100, and I think there's a little, personally, I think there's a little bit more accountability if it's the liquor license is held, because we can hold the liquor license if there was an issue.
And I would say everything you said is true, but I don't think that it's related to the alcohol license. It's already illegal to drive drunk, so I don't know that the two should be related.
And like Kevin said, they've been serving alcohol up there, but with a separate vendor.
But it's a fair point, it's something we've also
Yeah.
discussed that, you know, accessibility, all those elements.
Alright, any other questions about continuing the meeting or any other discussion about Pierce Farm we wanna have right now? Sorry, Evermore. Okay, then all in favor of continuing the meeting to August 4th, 2025? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. The next one is the Evermore Pierce Farm Common Victualers License. The applicant has also asked that we continue this. It's not a public meeting, so we don't need to continue anything on it, but we are going to table that topic for the next meeting, for the August 4th meeting, so we can tackle them at the same time. Okay, and let me see what we did. A, B, C, D, E, F,
H.
G, H, we are also tabling for our next meeting.
Okay.
That brings us to item I, the Merrimack Valley Library Consortium Agreement Contract Acceptance. I'll turn that over to Mr. Hartughi.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. So this is our fiscal 26 membership into the consortium. It's something that the library's relied on for many years. This contract was expected. It allows us to be able to be in the network for many different purposes. One of the primary is sharing resources.
Books,
Sharing the books.
sharing books.
Sharing the books. I don't know if anyone has any specific questions. Again, this is something we've seen in the past. And it is something where we have Gould A that pays for $12,908 of the contract and $19,000 out of the Library Service Bureau account.
Library Service Bureau, is that something sort of a reserve account or a user funded account, or is that funded out of operations?
I would have to double check that account number to be 100% certain. I believe it's
It says Gould A on here, so I'm assuming it's the Gould.
Gould A is one. They cover about 12,000 and change.
Yeah, and then the other one.
I believe it's budgeted
I-
in their operating.
I think it's in the operating, I just didn't wanna speak without checking, I can check the account number, just make sure it's in the other category, but it's likely in their operating budget. I'm not aware of another account that would cover the cost.
I'm gonna move to approve the contract between Topsfield Town Library and Merrimack Valley Library Consortium of North Andover, Massachusetts in the amount of $31,968 for the fiscal year 2026 membership, which provides software, interlibrary loan services, and training.
Second.
I'm currently reading a book that I think came from North Andover, so
Anything that keeps you reading is good.
yeah, it's never been a problem for me.
Alright, we've had a motion and a second. Any other discussion other than what we are reading?
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
Well, that took the words out of my mouth. I read on my little
Kindle? You know you can
Kindle.
check out books from the library on your Kindle.
I do all the time.
Alright, well, there we
And
go.
it has to do with Merrimack Valley Library Consortium,
That's the Libby app.
and I do it all the time.
There you go.
Okay.
Alright, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Alright, and that brings us to item number I, TA Hartunian's review.
That's
Thanks.
J.
Oh, yes, item J, TA Hartunian's review. Many thanks for those who sent in revisions or didn't feel that any revisions were needed. Thanks to Sam for collating everything pretty much after your work hours, Thursday through Sunday. So thank you for doing that.
She didn't have anything to do all weekend, so.
We did receive the consolidated version yesterday, and then I think there was one small update today. So if there are
Not
questions,
mine.
So that was the final that you sent,
Yes,
the final.
not the final draft, final.
final.
So let me open it up for discussion from the board.
I'll just reiterate generally that I think he's doing a swell job and we're lucky to have him, and I don't want to envision a time when I sit on this board and he is not the guy over there.
Bingo.
I'll second that even though it wasn't a motion.
Well, there you go. I mean, we
I-
did spend several hours talking about this less than a week ago, so I'm hoping
did
we don't
indeed.
have to revisit the
Um,
entire thing.
In fact, I haven't looked at what the latest revisions were, but if I go down and look at the final tally, it's gotta be about what, four something, 4.2?
4.1.
Oddly, it came in at a
3.9.
9.0.
3.9?
Mathematically impossible.
3.9, is that what it is?
Overall was 3.9, is that right?
Okay, well, I was a little disappointed in that, but that is what it is, okay? My comment was, Marshall, kind of back to you. I don't wanna do this anymore with Kevin not here, and I tell people all the time, and my comment was there, Kevin Hartoonian is the best thing we've done for the town of Topsfield in 20 years, in my opinion, so I'll leave it at that.
So I think Kevin had a tremendously productive year, not only the normal work cycle, but 3 big projects.
Huge.
And I'm hope that we're either very successful or on the way to being successful. I'm hoping we can work with them to make sure that absent the confluence of these big giant projects all in one year, that we can help them with more sustainable, long-term work-life balance. So you can do a lot of fun projects with your family, like going to the WNBA basketball game, for example, with your kids.
Maybe we should check with Annie first whether she wants us to do that.
Climbing shirtlessly up ladders.
Good comment, good comment.
Still available on Google.
Better call them.
Yeah, I've told several people, in fact, we had a meeting tonight up at Great Hill. And I told people that Kevin's been involved with 2 or 3 major projects over the last 6 months. And those things we hope are coming to an end. And now we can begin to focus on things that are a little more laid back maybe and not quite as time consuming. So he might be able to spend some time with his family. And so that gets me to the next question. How did your girls enjoy seeing Caitlin Clark? Did they enjoy that?
This isn't part of the review, is it?
I did.
This is not part of it. I'll bet they did.
Were they excited? Yeah.
They did.
Did they understand who Caitlin Clark was?
I'm not sure it mattered.
Oh, so was Caitlin Clark your fan or
They had a great time. We had a chance last week to go to the WNBA game at the Garden. It was a great event.
She did not have her best game, right? Statistically.
She turned it on late, but then got hurt, I think.
Yeah. She's got a groin injury right now that she's suffering from, that I read about every day in the papers.
Yeah, we don't need to get into any
Well, we don't need to
details
go
of
there.
I just checked to make sure the photo's still there, live on Google Maps, so.
Oh, that's why you're smiling like that?
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So I will add to that, I think you do a wonderful job for the town of Topsfield and the residents, very much appreciative of all that you've done and the things that help move us forward. Apparently I was the toughest raider, which surprises me, but that gives you room to grow. So I still, it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate what you do for us, I obviously do. And we've gotten a lot of stuff done in the town over the course of the last year, and I look forward to seeing what gets done next year.
Absolutely, thank you.
And I'll say just, as has been said, this job would not be pleasurable for any of us if you weren't working your tail off. Tail is okay, right? Arse is not, tail is okay.
No arse.
Okay,
Tail is okay.
and
Ours is not.
like we said before, just always be closing in the words of Glenn Ross. We got projects that we start, we're gonna continue to focus on closing them out as we've been doing and hoping that the glide path for the rest of the year is smooth. So thank you for your hard work, and we'll work on that work-life balance.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go.
I was gonna make a motion to vote to approve the FY 25 Select Board evaluation of Town Administrator Kevin Hartunian as presented in tonight's board docs.
Second.
Any other discussion?
One further comment. You guys haven't been around here long enough to understand what it was like when I became a selectman. We had 3 selectmen. One of them was a relatively, I have some more unpleasant words to say, but he was not terribly complimentary to
Doing a review of the
anybody.
select board now?
Say what?
I was gonna say, are you gonna start reviewing us?
No, this was a guy
Way
that
before
was
yours,
the
man.
chairman of the board of selectmen 20 years ago when I became a selectman. We had 3 of us.
He was fairly
And we
hostile.
didn't have an administrator. All we had was a recording secretary that really didn't know much about what was going on. And the 3 selectmen never really talked about where we were gonna go in the future, what we wanted to try to accomplish, what we should be trying to do. And I look back at those 20 years ago and I think now, and I think I can't believe how much better the town of Topsfield is today than it was 20 years ago.
And if you
So,
want a more colorful, detailed description of those days and what it took to get constructive things done, you can ask my wife.
I replaced his wife on the board of selectmen. She elected to bail out and I took her place.
She did 2 terms.
I know, but she bailed out. She'd had enough. But we had a chairman of the board of selectmen that was really
And a cohort.
an ugly, uncompromising old man. She left selectmen's meeting very often with tears in her eyes, crying.
And you fixed it all, Kevin.
I was gonna say, we're bringing this back to Kevin
Privilege.
somehow.
Well, no, I'm just saying, it's a lot different today, not just with Kevin, but the entire board. I mean, we're moving forward, we need to continue that, and I intend to try to make sure that we continue that.
And done.
But despite those difficulties in those days, there were some major accomplishments.
Oh, they
that
were,
happened, yeah.
they were, yeah.
Yeah.
Janet could give us some advice about that.
And you bring up a really good point, cause that's one thing I observed when I was here just watching and then obviously the past year on the board. And I hear the stories back in the day. And I can't imagine not having a town administrator. Because everything from negotiating the union contracts to making it so that we have the summer program when things kind of fall apart in the beginning. That would have been the select board. So
Nobody else did it,
It was
but
a
the board.
The
That's what I'm
first
saying,
project
what
my
is it?
wife did was police negotiation.
town administrators
she did it.
critical role.
They did it.
And a good town administrator is vitally important too. Alright, so we've had a motion and a second, any final comments?
Mr. Chairman, if I could,
Yes, please.
I had a chance to review, and I know last week we spent some time as well, review. I wanna thank the board for the thoughtfulness. It's obviously very clear that the board put some thought behind the evaluation, and I appreciate that greatly. This job is not just a job, it's a passion. As we talked about my wife and family earlier, they're fully on board and a part of this journey. I'm very grateful for my team, for Sam, and the people we brought in this organization, the people that are still with the organization. It's the number one reason I get up every day is to work with these people, to deliver the services that we get to deliver and work with this board right here. Support is tremendously important to me and appreciated. The work we were doing collectively is special. We're getting a lot of really good things done that meets this community's desires and needs. And in an evaluation, there's always opportunities for improvement. And thank you for your identification of some of those, ones that I'm familiar with, ones that I continue to work on. But I am grateful for your recognition of the really great things that we have been doing and we've been doing together. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. And I'm excited to continue to work with this community, to work with this board, to continue to deliver the best services we possibly can to this community, so thank you. Oh, and one last comment. I'm just bred that way. I'm gonna work my tail off no matter what. And I know that we've had everything from COVID to transitions to other special projects. It's been a lot this year, and I'm sure there'll be more to come. But I promise you, I will give you 110% of everything I have every single minute that I'm here.
Yeah, well, if you could cut it down to 110%, more family time out there.
Alright, all in favor of approving the FY25 select board's evaluation? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Alright. And that brings us to item K, which is a discussion around 2 state bills that are on the Hill.
I hope it involves money.
It involves, I think everybody's been made aware, member Vice Chair and Clerk Mercier Link brought this all to our attention, so we're very grateful that she did so. About the fair and what the fair can and cannot do with their property. So it has to do with the land at the fair and the use of the land at the fair rather than the fair itself. But I'm getting out over my skis, so let me turn it over to TA Hartunia.
So thank you. We've been made aware of a bill that was put forward in the House and the Senate that would have.
The EAS. I'm sorry,
It was proposed by a representative and a senator that does not represent this community. And which our local representatives have not signed on to, which could have some impacts to the community, and how what takes place and how it gets approved or not approved. We're working with KP Law, we're working with our state delegation. There's a public hearing on it tomorrow in Boston, which I'll be present for. And we're working with other agencies and outlets, as well as other communities that could be affected on ensuring that we keep a close eye on this bill and that our voices are heard and when necessary to make sure that all perspectives are considered. But there's a lot of good work happening right now and we'll continue to work until we see it through to completion or finish.
So is this something we can amend to make it workable for us, or is this something we need to try and kill?
The bill as written has significant issues. It actually goes well beyond Topsfield or other communities that have fairs. It actually affects all 351 communities in Massachusetts and could have incredible zoning impacts if it was to pass. It has been brought forward, so it needs to be considered. But it's certainly a long way from being law. And the most important thing is that our eyes are on it and we have the right people, our partners and our support, again at KP Law and others that are working through to make sure that it's addressed appropriately. Laws are good, bad laws are not.
Well, we obviously don't know where this is gonna go. But it's a scary thought when you think that our Essex Agricultural Society can be involved in a bill that allows them the capability of avoiding the town bylaws in terms of requirements for permits to do certain kinds of things. And it sounds to me like what I read, it allows them to do whatever they want. And I think that's a really scary thought.
I mean, why should they get special treatment that say a business doesn't get, a for-profit business doesn't get?
Well, it sounds like what they've done is piled on other organizations that have made this a statewide thing. So maybe it's become more than just a Topsfield thing, I don't know, but.
Oh, it absolutely could be more than a Topsfield thing, cause any property in any town could decide that they're holding an agricultural fair for 2 days of the year.
Yeah.
And then can do whatever they want.
Could get really ugly.
I mean, sometimes people rail against long laws, right? They're too lengthy and too complicated. This one is so obtuse, in my opinion. It would just allow freedom for anybody to do almost anything.
So our position is we oppose it.
Vehemently.
It needs to at least go to study, at minimum. But if you look at, so what it references is in Mass General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 3, is basically a list of, these are existing laws that allow exemptions under the zoning laws and bylaws, so local. And there are some significant items in here that make sense, like if you, for example, if your house burns down, you have the right to put a temporary home on there so that you can live in it while your house is being rebuilt. That makes sense. But something like this that is very broad, that essentially says they can bypass any local zoning ordinance or bylaw, it gives them the right to do essentially whatever they want. And I don't think that that is a benefit to the town. I think that, like the rest of the residents, there are bylaws and ordinances in place for a purpose.
We're not in a position to oppose the fair.
Right.
The fair and the town are intertwined. Their success is our success, and we wanna see them ultimately very successful. But we need to make sure though that they're doing it in a safe manner and following the rules that are laid out to ensure that they don't have negative impacts for our communities. And to the chair's point, it's the way it's written affects 351 communities. People who don't think it can because they don't have a fair might not be aware, but if this were to pass, you might have a significant issue and workaround on any local zoning regulations. But we wanna work with the fair, we wanna see their success, and anytime they've had events, we've been there saying, let's go through the process together. We've settled after a couple of years of working with them and have a clear understanding of process and appropriateness. To make sure, not to say no, but to make sure our neighbors know what's happening, to make sure that there's safeguards on it, to make sure that our team's aware of it so that we can do the proper due diligence to ensure its safety. So it's at a very early stage, and tomorrow's the first step in that, and that's Chair and I spoke about making sure we made the board aware of it. Do wanna thank the vice chair for flagging this. This was not on anyone's radar until it was discovered, and I think again, we've been working with our partners, MMA, MAPC. I've contacted the other mayors and town administrators and managers, everyone's aware and on the same page with this, it's bad law. So we're gonna work to make sure that the state understands that as well.
And I would just stress one thing, we keep talking about the fair, the fair does not make state laws, right? This is our state legislature at this point.
That's right.
What the fair wants or doesn't want is not yet part of any discussion.
A couple of comments if I may. Michelle, I appreciate you bringing this forward to us because it took some research and I'm glad you brought it forward. I would just ask one question, do either of you, Michelle or Kevin, get any kind of clue as to where this thing might go? I mean, is there any feeling about?
I would say it's early to tell. I think we're just gonna go work with our state representatives, work with our partners and just march down that path with them and make sure that we cover our flanks, make sure we look ahead and see clearly what we need to to see and address what we need to address as we need to. There's a public process that involves anyone who wants to participate. But right now, I think that it's early in this process, so much too early to say.
Thing that's scary to me is that when you begin to think about the fact that the implication might be that we're trying to put controls on the fair in the town of Topsfield. That could be the public feeling. And there's a romantic feeling about those kinds of things. A lot of people would say, man, it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful thing to go. I love to take my kids on. So the inclination might be to vote against those kind of things. So it's gotta be really carefully laid out and brought out that we're not trying to inhibit the fair. We don't wanna get rid of the fair. Enough said, I'll shut up.
And I'll just add one more comment. I've gone to the fair every single year of my entire life. I have a lifetime pass. I love the fair. I just would rather collaborate and partner. Like you said, this is a little scary, so.
Which again, we've spent the last 2.5 years getting to exactly that
Exactly.
point,
2.5
Exactly.
years.
so
Of compromising,
Yeah.
Yes.
understanding
Yes.
and partnership.
working with each other,
That's right.
partnership, exactly.
Yeah.
And so again, I don't, to me, this is not the fair, to me, this is our state legislature.
That's right.
It is,
That's
that's what it
exactly it.
is, yeah. That's what it's become.
Alright,
And I think just one last thing, I mean, there may be some individual points in there that could be meritorious, but if the weight of the thing is not beneficial to the town, you gotta fight the whole thing.
Well, to be clear, it's one sentence. I mean, the law exists is this big. The amendment, the thing that's being talked about is a single sentence that they're adding.
Yeah.
Nor shall any zoning ordinance or bylaw prohibit, regulate, or restrict the use of land or structures dedicated in whole or in part to periodic operation of an agricultural fair, provided that such land or structures are owned and such activity conducted by a nonprofit corporation established for such purpose, and further provided that any use of such land or structures is in furtherance of such nonprofit corporation's purpose. First of all, they could learn from the more periods, fewer commas advice. Maybe we could chop that up a little bit. But I mean, it right there.
In a nutshell,
Any
that's
zoning ordinance or
It's scary.
bylaw prohibit, regulate, or restrict. That's all you need to know. That's the force of it.
Right, so then all the arguments to,
Everything that comes after that is just describing the fairland,
You
so.
basically have a fair one day a year and then
The-
do
the-
whatever you want the rest of the
the
year.
phrase about furtherance of their mission. Their mission is
Corporation's purpose,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, if their purpose is to make money, it doesn't define what their purpose is, so.
typically when you're a nonprofit, you gotta have some sort of mission that is involved with a public good. It's not making money. So like agricultural fair, so we would end up arguing about all these things that they unilaterally want to do are not part of their corporate purpose. And so that they're not eligible for unilateral action.
I'm
Now, that's a
sure
more
you-
difficult argument, and we don't wanna have that argument. I mean, if we're against this thing in its entirety, let's fight it in its entirety.
It's zero sum. The
Yeah.
law is presented as to they can amend it at certain points, but that's what they're looking at this time.
excellent. So certainly something we're gonna keep our eye on, appreciate you going
Without that.
into the city tomorrow, we'll look forward to the next update to seeing how it goes, hopefully reading the tea leaves here, hopefully it is off to pasture, but who knows. It's a long process, the legislative session goes through January
Been on for a
13th,
long time.
so
Yeah, I would like us to do more than keep an eye on it. If there's anything I can do or we can do to help with managing against this, let me know.
Yeah, I think at this point, and this is the advice of council as well as advice of others that we've spoken with, I think right now, we'll just take step by step. I think in the next couple of weeks, there could be more. We have a comment period. We'll see what that looks like, if we wanna if we wanna sign on to anything that might be prepared relative to this. depending on different positions on it, so.
Yeah.
I think we're at an early it's good to let the board know where we are and
Yep.
what's out there and that we're on it and we're certainly surrounding ourselves with the right team to both our state reps, KP Law, other towns and cities that are directly affected. Again, though, this could affect 351 communities.
We'll know more tomorrow.
So we got a Senate bill and a House bill.
Mhm.
Okay. So we can easily talk to all of those people that are involved in the Senate or the House.
Yep.
About that issue.
Okay,
Thank you, Michelle, for bringing it up.
that brings us to the select board updates, and I will start here with
Well,
Mr.
I'm going to deliver thanks to a couple entities that I feel like we thank in some form or another. Every one of our meetings, but our fire department, their work hit both figuratively and geographically closer to my home and even closer to the chair's home when there was a fire on Parsonage Lane on Friday night. It hit it's the house of the Watkins, Tom, who is on our FinCom. Their two children, the whole family was out of the house at the time of the fire, so they were okay. Their dog though was home, and so the thanks of not only responding to the fire quickly enough to save in large part the house, they physically had to go into the house to get the dog and save the dog. I think 6 or 7 other communities responded. Cause just walking down the street, it's like, well, there's Ipswich, there's Hamilton, there's Beverly, I think was there at some point. They may have been looking for their trash bags, I don't know, but and our police were there obviously as well, and including all the other services around it. So also the call came from neighbors of ours who were walking down the road, heard the fire or smoke alarms from inside the house and smelled the smoke. So they were the ones who originally called, and actually they walked by early in our meeting, so they're out trying to save homes. But once again, the big point, our fire department, our police department, our surrounding communities all came in, saved a house, saved a dog. They're gonna be out of that house for the next 9 months-ish, but clearly had the fire department not responded as quickly as they did, then it definitely would have been significantly worse. So thanks to them, and that's it for me.
Can you imagine trying to go somewhere for 6 months with your kids?
9 months. It's-
9,
yeah.
my
Yeah,
God.
and can he find a place that's in Topsfield?
God.
They're looking, if anyone knows.
I'll bet.
They could buy my house, but
Yeah, they can buy
Rent.
You can rent.
Rent.
There's
So I was
places up
in-
on Great Hill for sale.
So I was in Dawson's today, and a fellow came in looking for a second garbage can. And
Black or blue?
black, it's
Garbage.
trash can.
Oh, garbage.
Yeah, and the Dawson's employee that was there, you know, the shorter guy with the long hair that specializes in paint,
Yeah.
he knew the drill pretty well. So he explained it correctly and how it was gonna work.
And you were listening.
Yeah, participated a little bit. And so it sounds like they were well trained. You know, he didn't focus on the Beverly garbage bags. I don't know if they're all familiar with that yet.
I'll bet.
They haven't been introduced, we still have carts available until that time.
Okay, yeah, they were out, and he had sent some people over to the co-op.
They had 17 as of this afternoon.
Yeah.
So if anyone's looking for a second, co-op is the place to go at the moment.
So the public-private partnership appears to be going reasonably well.
Great. I'm next
Mr.
up.
Jackson, yes.
Well, we had a listening session on Saturday, and boy, it was wonderful. Raphael and I and a representative of the Masco School Committee sat there.
Elementary.
Elementary school. Had a wonderful discussion and nobody else showed up. So Raphael and I decided that means that most of the people in town are happy with the way things are going, so they don't show up.
100% of the people who were not on the select board even, who were at the meeting, expressed satisfaction with this
So
program.
it's the school committee member.
Yes.
There was not much to discuss, we were out of there about 11 o'clock, I think, but nobody showed up.
Okay.
And that's kind of disappointing in my opinion, because I think that I can easily think that there ought to be more people involved, more people have questions, more people have comments, but it's easy for me to say that most people are satisfied, but I don't really mean that, because I think that most people just don't care.
Yeah, it's interesting, when I set up with Dan, I set up every listening session date, reserve some time in the library through January.
Mhm.
And I think I gave us August off.
Well, that's gonna be when everyone wants to talk to us.
Well, okay.
They haven't wanted to talk to
I
us
can
at
do it
any of our
any-
select board listening
So I
sessions,
can do it
thought we had
anytime you want.
any of our meetings,
I don't
any
have,
of his open office hours. They do wanna yell at us on social media, but they can't find time. What is the furthest distance you can drive between 2 points in Topsfield? Like, what is the furthest you would, well, I guess we're in the middle, more or less. So what is the furthest away? One of the Middleton houses over there on the other side of 95, what is that, a 10-minute drive?
Compromise.
So at most, you're a 10-minute drive away from sitting down with any one of us at any time. Doug is the only one who makes the trip. Nobody else
He does
bothers
not
at
live on
any point or
Compromise.
time. So
so is this
Yes,
like
I
an
know.
editorial offering?
no, this is just, once again, we are eminently available to talk with and to listen. And if you can't be bothered to do that, then I'm going to
Stop
assume
complaining of it.
everybody is happy. This is not my update, by the way.
No, I wasn't gonna talk about this, but in fact, I did have a meeting Saturday morning with a guy that is a longtime Topsfield resident. I think he lives by himself. He may have a kid or two, but I don't think he has a wife. But he is not happy with the way town is going. He is generally upset with the way the town is being run. He thinks Kevin is a mayor and shouldn't be. He thinks Kevin is doing whatever he wants to do without our guidance. He is not in favor of the pocket park. He doesn't want a restaurant. He is upset about the fact that we've rezoned Route 1 as industrial rather than residential. He's an ex-member of the planning board. And it was really an interesting conversation because the guy is just so mixed up, in my opinion, and so out of touch with what's going on. But it was an amiable discussion. He's relying on me to fix all of his problems because you're a member of the Board of Selectmen, so I know you will vote the way I want you to vote, so, you know, so that was.
Yeah, I expect that would happen.
It was incredible.
It is feedback.
It is feedback,
Yeah.
and
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
it's just unbelievable. Terribly unproductive in my opinion, but amiable and it's over with.
That's good.
I told him he could call me anytime he wants, and if he comes out of the woodwork again, I'd be very surprised.
There are like 8 available chairs here in the room, so.
Always.
Just a couple of items, just a reminder of the concerts on the Common on Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m.
yeah?
I missed the first one,
Who is it?
the one yesterday was canceled due to potential thunderstorms. I think in the future, if they're gonna cancel them, not only will it be on social media, but we'll try to put it on the town website. Another reminder to go to the Council on Aging office and buy your 16-month calendar. So Jack Armitage has been working to fund the purchase of a new curtain for upstairs in the Great Hall so that they can improve the acoustics in that space. So thank you to Jack for that, all of the effort he's putting into it so far, and the folks up at COA as well. But he has with his own pictures, he had a calendar created, it is wonderful, it's various scenes across Topsfield,
With Kevin in every scene.
pretty much.
No, not in the trash can.
No, not one shot of Kevin.
Ah, damn.
And I think they're $20 each, you can get them at Gillies or you can get them at COA.
So these are fundraiser accounts.
It's a fundraiser calendar, and if you donate $2.50 or more to the cause, then you get a free calendar. So hop on that. I want to say thank you to Chief Collins Brown for her work on the tot lot, that is complete and looks great.
Yep.
I walked on that, we went for a walk and happened to walk on the tot lot, just to check out that the new surface that they put on there, and that's soft. Like it's like if you
Bouncy.
fell on that, it's bouncy. I was expecting it to be kind of like the material that's on the track, but it's softer.
I think it's made out of dollar bills, isn't it?
Pretty much.
It's
It looks
ADA
great.
compliant.
It's ADA compliant, you can get a wheelchair across that, and also the fence around it makes it much safer for the kids, so it looks great, so thank you to Chief Collins. And that's all I have.
Alright, a few things, going back to the listening session, wanted the board to be aware, we did learn from the other member that was there, from the elementary school committee, they have finished their contract.
Mm-hmm.
So they've signed a new 3-year contract.
Right.
So
Did
I
she
didn't get
share
the
any
detail,
numbers?
she started looking into them and then I think Boyd and I distracted her with
Well,
another question
yeah,
or something, but the sense I got was there's nothing crazy there. So I think just a very
Thank you.
different experience than the last time, I think it was a 6-month process instead of 2 years.
Well, we had that big inflation pop, you know, that I think all the unions wanted to recover from,
Well,
which
that was,
doesn't exist now, hasn't existed since then.
some of the fear was given what happened with neighboring towns
Mhm.
over the last several months with their contract negotiations, that we were heading towards a very difficult one. Again, I don't know the details, but I am grateful that the school committee and the bargaining representatives on both sides were able to come to an agreement there. Homegrown markets are going on, I'm sure we'll hear more details about that, hopefully, because that's pretty much what I remember. I did also want to give out, speaking of trash, kind of, hopefully folks were aware, but members of the Sustainability Advisory Committee and members who aren't even, or folks who aren't even members of the SAC, who volunteered their time across 4 days, 9 shifts, 3 to 4 hours each. Zilly was probably at all or most of them, so that's a tremendous amount of time. Just collecting the trash and recycling bins that people didn't want. They were able to donate, if I read this right, over 300 carts to charity. We know that there was a box truck that came, filled up, came back again, and is supposedly coming for a 3rd time. So a lot of those were donated. They just take the donated ones, the rest are being recycled. And furthermore, that there were 25 pulled aside, I thought this was a great idea for the COA exchange program, so that folks might not necessarily have to go pay $100 for a new smaller bin, but that they have some that are available. If I did my math right,
Are they compliant with what?
They're the exact ones that they sell, and they were only the ones in superior condition and
yeah.
the others, so they're like new, they're not new, they're like new.
So if I've done my math right, at either $75 or $100 a cart, you know, it's north of $20,000 donated to charities and to local folks who want a smaller cart. So tremendous effort, a lot of time. Luckily, the weather was mostly cooperative. So thank you to everyone who helped with that.
Yeah, that was a lot, you go down, there's like a sea of these return cans.
Everywhere.
It's great.
Yep. And with that, let's go to the town administrator's report.
You know, a lot of the things I had prepared covered. Fire, I would just say Wenham, Ipswich, Danvers, Beverly, Middleton, Hamilton, Boxford, and Georgetown. We're
Wow.
so
Small.
a thank you
Six
to
alarm, right?
all of those departments who helped us. But a special thank you to Captain Boyle, John Hallinan, Daniel Benoit, and the other members of our fire department who were on shift and or came back to help in that instance for the fire. All things considered, it was a really good job by the team saving as much as they did at the home, but most importantly, there was a lot of concern. The dog was missing for some time, the family dog, and John Hallinan retrieved the dog on the second floor. So that was a nice relief at the end of that instance on that front. We talked about the collective bargaining agreement with the elementary schools. I would just say what the schools led by Dr. Morrison, he championed with the MTA rep, Kevin, was what we referred to as a collaborative approach on the negotiation. And it was a very different approach than anything I've ever seen before. And it resulted in a contract that was delivered on time of what they had targeted for a date to close the negotiations. And I think hopefully considered fair by the schools as well as the teachers and the town, obviously as the funder. But just as it's been brought up, I just want to say kudos to both the MTA rep and especially Dr. Morrison for the approach they took on it. And then homegrown market, we talked about that too. That was big thank you to Scott Hubby, our interim rec director, who in a week's time working with the Rosas, Tom Rosa, Anne Marie and Nicole, residents of the downtown who are many of our boards and committees, just great people, stepped up during the period of transition to make sure that we were gonna have an event. And not only did we have an event, there was so much passion and enjoyment of watching it come together. We're really excited to try to build this up and continue to build it. It's a little different this year. It's from 5 to 7 and it's every Wednesday, starting last Wednesday through August 20th. There'll be music, there'll be games, there'll be vendors. There's a banner. Thanks, Sam.
No, Scott.
And Scott.
Scott.
Tag team, you guys did it together. But there's a lot of it's a continuation of what we've done in the past and hopefully it's bigger and better than ever. So we're excited for it. And I will say this past one, the car show and the partnership with Kathleen Barbarisi and the COA helped bring a lot of people as well. We do owe some people hot dogs, though. That's usually the deal. They bring the cars, we provide the hot dogs. We're gonna get them next time.
Was your pickup truck out there?
It's not quite eligible.
Okay.
Soon enough.
Not quite old enough.
Soon enough. If I have it my way, it'll be getting those antique plates sooner or later. Trash. Just some quick data points on that. We talked about the program that the chair spoke to. Great program. The fact that the COA, the Sustainability Advisory Committee, especially Zilly, for leading that effort to reuse and repurpose all the bins that, not all, but a significant amount of the bins that came down. We estimate we had up to 800 bins dropped off. And a significant amount of them are actually reusable, which is really exciting. We burned about half of them. Meaning that the vendor that came in to repurpose them and reuse them was able to use about half those.
And were those re-rig bins or were there other people's bins or
Those are the
other manufactured bins that are very similar?
Those are drop-offs for anyone who, after we dropped off our new bins, had old bins that they had been using.
You wanted to get rid of.
They could get rid of them by dropping them off down there for the purposes of potentially reusing them.
But I'm just speaking specifically to the reused ones, where we decided some of the ones that were there were capable.
Their toter brand, what they carry at the store is 32-gallon toter brand.
They're
So-
not re-rig.
But they're,
But they can be
Yes.
picked up by Mellows arm.
so to your
Garbage truck.
to your points earlier, Smets, we had really great work relationship with all the different partners, Mello, Re-Rigs, Rep Steven, Aldo at Dawson's, Wes and Dave at the co-op. And we had one of our trash talk weekly meetings, every other week meeting, and we identified in real time a bin that they sell that they believe would be compliant with the trucks. This is the one exception, I wanna emphasize that, this is not something where people can go and buy a 32 on their own and use that for trash or recycling trash. Every bin in this that we take needs to be the official sealed bin. However, if the 65-gallon recycle bin is too big for physical ailment or topography of the properties, there's something you can opt out going through Kathleen Barbarisi and the COA to get a smaller bin that's available. We did not order them, but we have one that Mello's comfortable picking up.
Cause,
Those ones that you, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, you
So
finish
the
up.
ones that you referred to, those ones are the ones that we are asking people to purchase. They're very specific, very particular one type of bin. Those are the ones that were returned that we're now gonna repurpose for people who wanna opt out.
Okay, so make sure I understand, some of the bins that were turned in at the highway garage were not re-rig bins, but they are capable of being used by the Mellow trucks for disposal.
For this one
Yes.
very specific purpose.
Recycling.
Yes, recycling, I'm working on it.
Recycling only,
Yeah, the opt-out program through the COA.
just recycling. Because we have such a shortage right now. There's some of the bins that Dawson's has on their concrete apron out in front of the store look similar to the re-rig bins that were delivered.
I just, for the sake of, we have the vendor purchased additional black re-rig manufactured official town sealed black bins. Those are available, there's 17 as of this afternoon available. And for those who then continue to sign up, the second order's coming. It was delayed, but we've got a contingency plan in the interim that's a temporary plan, very specific, that the team's working group came up with that we're gonna deploy. So to avoid any confusion, I'm just, for the opt-out only, for recycling, there's some reusable 32s that we salvage that are gonna be available for those who opt to not purchase one off out of the store that we can provide them.
That's it, that's the only deviation from
Correct.
the re-rig bins.
That's right.
I think that's great. That was a good option.
Yeah, if we can reuse stuff,
Yeah.
that's good.
And save people money.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So as of this morning, we had originally in the first pre-registration, 207 people buy the trash bins. We have up to 176 as of 9 o'clock this morning that had signed up. So right now we're what's the math on that? 383 in total signups, which equates to around 16% of our 17% of our households have opted to buy a second bin. We also have over 50 new customers in the composting program. I've had, yeah, it's a 33% increase from our old numbers.
Since what is the start date of that?
We started pushing that.
No, I'm saying 33 since, or whatever your number was, 50 since when?
50, that's since we started pushing with the rate, the new tiers, and that was when we introduced the pre-registration, so April.
Okay.
I'd say offering, not pushing.
Did I say push? Offering. So we started pushing the information out to people and offering the program.
Perfect.
Thank you. So just data wise, again, we estimate 28% of the population typically would need a second bin. We're only at 16 or 17% have actually purchased. I've talked to a number of people who are just right before the meeting. I was walking on the street talking with somebody who said family of 4. There's somebody I talked with early on. I said, have you bought your second bin yet? They said, actually, we haven't. We're composting and we've been making it work. So it was really interesting to see that.
It's a step in the right
It's
direction.
phenomenal here, because what I said to that person when they came to the information session, I said, give it 2 months and I wanna get your feedback in 2 months. You tell me exactly how it's going. I wanna know from you firsthand. And we're not quite 2 months out from the beginning, but this is a really good first look from that conversation, and there's others we've had, so.
This family of 6 started composting somewhere, we're one of those 50. And we are one bin and have not filled either yet, so.
So
Or I
you
guess
got-
one
you
bin,
got-
one
you
bin
got the
and one
little
bin,
bins?
'cause we've got the
You
compost.
got little bins or the big one?
Well, no, we have this one blue one black one, just
No,
like.
I mean the compost.
No, we have the black earth little one.
Okay, yeah.
So
But there's two different sizes.
No, well, we have whatever they were selling out here in front. It's about this big.
Yeah, okay, that's the big one, okay.
So I guess we have 3 bins, 1 trash, 1 compost, 1
That's good.
recycling, and we've
That's
not
a good
filled
idea.
any of them yet.
We expect there'll be a push probably when people come back after the summer. There'll be like in September. We think obviously around the holidays, we might have a push for people purchasing more recycling carts and trash carts. But as of right now, there's, it's a steady 2 to 3 people a day we've seen over the last couple of weeks of purchases, and it's been pretty steady. So we're projecting out what does that look like through August until the next delivery comes, and it's helpful in us understanding a logistical standpoint the needs and making sure we meet those needs. I would just emphasize too, thank you, Jack, on the curtain. It was one of my updates as well. And one other piece, we're looking to incorporate AV equipment as well, so that we can have a drop-down screen, as well as a projector. We looked at a projector from the back of the room. It was tens of thousands of dollars because it's so far back. That was a non-starter. There was a conversation about having one that literally hung from the ceiling. That would be clunky and out of place, and it would just also be problematic because the cost to put that up with lifts and such. So we're just gonna invest in a projector that we can wheel in, but with a dedicated computer that we can locate. But the equipment, the screen and the current will be available to us. And we're looking at improving some of the sound boards on the side that are flat, tilting them slightly. Some of the sound experts we've spoken with.
Interesting.
And so that's some of the investment upstairs. I will also say at Town Hall, the other investment, and thank you to Sam, significant thank you to Sam and Debbie and Stephanie, but mostly Sam. These cameras, I'd like to say this is our first select board meeting or publicly recorded meeting where we're using our new equipment that we invested in. As you notice, there's no microphones here around the table. And we're excited to see what the result of this will be.
So anyone who's
Are you
listening.
directing over there?
Is
Flip between the shots?
No,
Right?
it doesn't. We have to name them.
see, I don't see the cameras moving, do they?
No,
Oh,
look
there
at
you go,
her.
it
There she
moved.
goes.
She found you, boy. Found you. It's all based
It's
on your
voice.
voice. So voice activation. So right now, camera's likely taping me. Probably that one. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope,
No,
Hi, someone talk to me. Hello.
it takes
there
a
you go,
second.
just move
There you
for
go.
it.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Yeah, you're presuming I wanna be in the camera.
But I think
They speak. Oh, good.
one thing is anyone listening at home, if there are any issues with the sound, cause it is weird, we didn't have people in the hot seat.
Tell us.
Let us know.
But it is.
Let
It's our
Sam
first. It's our first run, and I think we'll modify and tweak. We'll look at the results of this. But I'm grateful for the time and energy and the expertise that helped us with the investment. Jonathan, who was helping us before Boxer Cable, is gonna be our point of contact going forward, so we have a smooth transition out of Boxer Cable and with our independent contractor who's helping us with this. I think we're setting ourselves up for success in the future, and grateful for the efforts of Sam and the others, as I mentioned.
So do we have a good contact from the manufacturer, distributor of the equipment itself?
We've seen a lot of them.
I talk to Sam regularly and she is very happy about this whole thing.
They're cute. I like them.
And it's more
Sam-
cost
Sam-
effective.
Project.
She can't wait to name him like
And put,
Raphael said.
and put googly eyes on them, I'm sure.
One needs lashes.
Speaking of which, we did receive the $32,000 in the state budget for another lawnmower.
Oh, nice.
I know that it was approved by the House and the Senate. Don't know if it was signed off by the governor yet, to be frank, but I know that it made it through the most difficult parts, which is when it gets the debates on the different articles, the different earmarks. That's gonna be significant for us as we've seen great success in those equipments. And now we'll be able to make another investment on the larger ones, the Spana, which is the one.
So what grassy area is this new one gonna take care of?
So we're gonna have one at Clock and one at Pybrook, the larger ones. Then we'll have the smaller ones being deployed on the infields at Pie, as well as likely bringing 1 or 2. We have 2 more that were donated, the small ones. So we'll have a family of 2 big ones, and then we'll have 4 small ones.
It's Hartunians.
We might just call them Hartunians.
The 2 that were recently donated, those have not been deployed yet?
They have not.
No, I think
I think they did actually. I think they were doing the infields. They're doing double duty up there.
Oh, up at Pybrook.
Yeah, we want to bring them down here. The one issue is finding electricity and having having the robot lawnmower not cross the road.
Yep.
You see like a Frogger moment.
That would be nice.
So it's how do we get it safely from where the electricity source is, without doing significant trenching? Things we're thinking about, but I think it would be a statement, and also logistically it would be it would help our team in having them deployed downtown, whether it's over in the Veterans Green, having one there, or if it's on Proctor. There is value to our team, especially in the finer elements of our downtown, having our team present as well on the zero turns and with the weed whackers. You see them out there multiple times each week. They do a great job. And that it matters having those eyes and those efforts by our team out there as well to supplement it. New website coming, not drastically changing, but the back end and some of the front end will look a little bit different, and the back end will be a lot significantly different, allowing for more modules and more ability to track certain items, analytics, resources for reporting issues. There's a lot that we can do with the new website, possibly even recreation software. So I signed off on the contract. We were able to negotiate a flat rate for the first year, so our cost doesn't go up in fiscal '26. But then the contracted price that they were gonna require us to pay in '26 will happen in '27 with a flat increase of 3% in year 3. So it's a good deal. And we're gonna be getting some significant improvements on the back end and some forward-facing improvements as well. And I think that is it. And thank you again for your support. I appreciate it greatly.
Bartles and James.
I have no idea.
Bartles and James.
We're sitting here trying to figure out, what is that?
Are we having wine coolers later?
And thank you for your support. That was their tagline in the late '80s when I definitely did not drink them.
Okay, well, thank you for that cultural icon.
Can I ask a couple quick questions?
Absolutely.
So on the elementary school union contract, that's all taken care of between the school, the committee and the union. You don't really have any role in that.
I'm statutorily, they're required to invite me
Right.
to the meetings, and I do participate in say most, not all. Technically it is the school committee, like the select board at the end of the day, that approves the contract. And it's the union that approves the contract. Negotiation happens with the superintendent and the union rep and president.
Okay. And then I just wanna piggyback on Scott Hovey, I think had been here for 6 days.
Yeah.
And was running the homegrown market. I know that he had a lot of help, obviously, but kudos to him for joining and jumping right in.
We're grateful.
I did stop down at the homegrown market, and while it was a little bit smaller than previous years, I can see that it will move forward nicely. And the only other thing I wanted to mention, again, piggybacking off of something that you had said regarding trash. So I think there was about 2,200 households that needed to get trash bins deployed. And obviously on social media, there have been some comments, so a portion of the 2,200 did not feel that what they were getting was what they wanted or needed. I would very much encourage all of those folks to either reach out to us, we have emails, you can email the select board, you can come to a select board meeting. Kevin has open office hours, or you can just come into town hall. I would much rather discuss it in person, feel free to reach out individually to talk about what your specific needs are. I've reached out to some folks, they've had some concerns about things, and in some cases, we've been able to resolve them, so it's always worth reaching out individually to talk about your specific scenario. So I just wanted to mention that.
Always available.
Always available.
It's been our commitment since day one, it'll continue to be.
Yes.
And we're always here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and as we were talking about at Dawson's today, which is, one of the local fountains of wisdom, there's a distribution of what people's needs are. Some people need 20 gallons of garbage, some people have 45, 55, 60 gallons of garbage every week. And you can't have a program that fits that entire distribution without having barrels that are too big or too small. So you've get a program that gets most of the people in the middle and allows for exceptions for the people on the outlying ends of the distribution. And that's just the way it's gonna work, and it's not a flaw or a bad decision, it's just trying to accommodate the most people under one program and providing exceptions for those that don't fit the mean of the curve. So, hang in there,
It's all we
We'll
can
help
tell you, it's all we can tell people, we can't possibly provide every size barrel that everybody wants. We can't do that.
right,
We don't have first of all, we're not gonna buy them. First of all, we don't have a place to store them. First of all, we don't know how many we're gonna need.
You can't say first of all 3 times.
Okay, should I say?
Second of all, third of all.
I will say
One,
though, the people that the people we have interacted with have been tremendous.
Yeah.
You know, I wanna say that, I think you know, the people who have come to meet with myself or have spoken with Sam on the phone or contacted Debbie, the team's done amazing work. And I said this before, I'll say it again, that was the initial, when we rolled, we said we have to make sure we're being as responsive as possible. The team, time and time again, has met that expectation and surpassed it. And I'd say it honestly, the calls are less frequent and the questions are less frequent. I think hopefully people are starting to adapt. This is expected. You know, when we rolled through this, the haulers and others, re-rig reps, DP, they all said first month or two, you're gonna have a lot of questions. And that is exactly what we've seen and we expected it and we're prepared for it. We'll continue to address if there's good ideas that come through or concerns or issues that come through to address those as timely as possible, so.
Alright,
motion to adjourn,
not quite yet. Well, you can make the motion.
motion to adjourn.
Second?
Oh, now we have to vote on it.
Oh, well, we have to do correspondence.
Yes, well, then we have a motion, so now.
All in favor? All opposed?
Nay.
Any abstentions? Alright, motion
There we
fails.
go.
So we have correspondence.
It's a
I'll
bad night,
point
you can't adjourn.
folks to the correspondence on board docs. We've got
Thriller Max will be eliminated from your Xfinity package, so if you were very excited about Thriller Max, it'll be gone. But there's actually, for I think the
That's
first
a big
time in my
deal.
entire time on the board, a channel deletion that's notable. And I think it speaks to a change in how people consume television, cause New England Cable News is being removed from the Xfinity package. Which,
Ooh, that's
I don't
big.
know, even 10 years ago, this was a huge
That
channel, and
would've
now
been a
I think
big
it only
deal.
plays in the waiting room of the Jiffy Lube. And I think they have recognized that nobody
Jiffy Lube
watches, well, I don't know if Jiffy Lube has, they're probably disappointed, though they may be interested in Thriller Max, it's hard to tell. But it is an interesting shift in the corporate TV landscape that they basically said the NBC affiliate has everything Neckin has, so we don't need to show you Neckin
I
anymore.
might as well throw my TV out then.
Yeah,
in addition to cable, exciting cable
Thriller Max,
changes.
all one word, capital M.
Let's see, there is, as much as Kevin is thinking and Michelle are thinking, John Theater.
Oh, Jack Armitage.
Jack Armitage, Jack
Also known
Armitage
as-
is also thanking you all for your efforts, there's a thank you there for that. There's a correspondence about FEMA flood map revalidations, and it has some very specific addresses on there. I read that thing 8 times and I'm still not entirely sure what it's actually saying, so let's touch base about that. And then if he gets to geek out about TV, I'll geek out about my favorite thing in correspondence was that FERC has approved changes to the ancillary services markets. This is about electricity and letting folks know that any changes will be passed through to the retail rate payer. So exciting changes coming from FERC.
Some good opportunities to pay more for electricity, is that what we're looking for?
Conserve,
Without doubt.
conserve.
Mm-hmm.
Did you send Jack a note?
Why is that?
Kevin, your thoughtful and sincere note was such a welcome surprise.
They're pen pals now.
Oh, okay. Well, the only reason I'm gonna read this. This is Jack talking about you. talking about Kevin. You have been tremendously encouraging and supportive, let's make this happen.
Let's make it
So
happen.
everything that he really appreciates what you've been doing to help out with this, so.
Jack's an amazing man. I'm
He
excited to
is.
work with him.
Well,
It's
we're
fun to
supposed to
I
have read
can't
this out
anymore.
loud
I'm sweating
before
through
the
my
review?
shirt over.
Seriously?
Right.
Pretty nice over here.
No, this goes into next year's review.
Jack.
talk.
Oh, that's right, it's fiscal year
Jack
20.
Armitage is a wonderful guy. He's had a golden pun for 30 friggin' years around here.
And if you haven't gone to his Wednesday poetry, it's a hoot.
He's really good.
Alright,
It is.
with that,
I offered to give him $500, which I did. I did it on camera one night here. I offered to give him $500 for his curtain, and I paid the $500 the other day, and I got a calendar.
There you go. You should have gotten two.
There you go. I should have gotten 20.
So what day of the week is it?
Doesn't start till September.
Oh.
It's
Alright.
16 months.
With that, I don't know, Bob, do you have a motion you wanted to make?
Motion to adjourn, please.
Michelle, any motions you wanted to second?
Second.
Alright, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye, all
Aye.
opposed? Any
9:26.
abstentions? We are adjourned.